groups like we have right now. So as these A's head up, they're already 3.8K in, Nathan, and we're just getting going here, and it feels like this is going to be a fast one.
And yes, it looks like it is going to be a fast one as they are heading around the volcano at this moment. As it looks like no attacks just as of yet here, Dave. Pretty calm, and I have a feeling that the reason that is because of that climb that's going to be coming at them full gas, I think, once they do go over that little dirt section that they're going to be heading towards.
I agree, Nathan. It's one of these racers are so savvy, so experienced that they realize that any big plays made before that point in the race really will be wasted efforts, because it's going to be an explosion, not even really at the bottom of that climb, but the lead into that climb is where I think the race proper really gets going out here today. It's not a long course. I mean, it's one lap, just under 20K of racing. Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop, Nathan, this is the first time that we've raced this course in ZRL.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be short. That's one thing that I said this morning was that this is going to be short, but it is absolutely when it comes to when the pressure is on this loop, that is exactly from there. There's no stopping. Like, it's like full gas the moment that they're going to hit. And you can actually see it off in the distance here, what these riders are about to be taking on. They're going to cross over, actually, that bridge you see right there. Now, this may be a little bit of a tease, though, because they do have some dirt here. And the reason why this is getting teased here, Dave, is because on the dirt, there's not quite as much draft.
Right, exactly. And Nathan, going back to your point, well, here we go. Actually, these guys are going to zig when others zag, which that's exactly the name of the game out here in racing on Zwift. But I'm anticipating now that this actually is going to be really interesting. We're going to find out now. We're going to have a chance to talk about some of the top sprinters to watch out here. But right now, I think we're going to see the riders that want to get out in front of that problem. And here we go. This is going to be racing at its best right now. The formation of the breakaway, and really it shows you how hard it is to go clear when you've got a group of monsters like this, is they're going to look to close down anything. They're not giving leash today, Nathan. That's going to be Carlos Flores, one of the Chilean riders on that World Elite Zwifters team up there right now.
Yeah, Penland from the Dragons. Ferner is here as well. SZ is showing up. Tori from Skylab. Kirschfield, we saw him yesterday. I actually got a message from him in the chat yesterday that he had raced earlier. Yesterday, if you saw, he actually exited the event yesterday, and he had raced earlier and was jumping into another race. So this guy raced like 3 times or something yesterday. I guess he's jumping back in now for another one. This guy just doesn't stop. Good to see them out here today. Now that it's going to be Strazula from Foudre. You had said that this isn't a massive group, Dave, but it is one that has a lot of firepower in it.
Absolutely, Nathan. This is going to be the quality over quantity, but we're not light on quantity either. This is a strong peloton. You can see we started with 50 riders, so kind of after the first selection was made in a lot of ways. So the Foudre rider, the teams, it reads like a who's who of Zwift racing out here. You're talking about Kirkfield, Nathan. He touches up on 14.8 watts per kilo. That, folks, is a monster sprinter. You're in that platinum standard group. But there's a few riders, even on his team. Benny Axt, another Dragon, is close to that rider to watch today. How about Alec Grossar here, one of the level 77 Zwifter, and definitely a guy over 15 watts per kilo for 15 seconds. So if you're in a group with him that goes to the line, heads up. But Nathan, when you look at this, they backed off a little bit now. But your point about when this race goes all in, you're all in. It's, even though through the duration of this event, it might not be the most painful experience like an endurance ride. When this one hurts, it's going to be at the highest level. These guys are going to go absolutely bananas. There's probably going to be a couple waves of that. Only a few American flags today, Nathan, but I do see Caleb Carl has taken the start.
Really? Is he jumping in for Skylab out here today? That's great to see. If that's, I have a feeling I'm going to see him not only here and amongst this crew, but he was going to race with us later tonight, perhaps. So good to see Caleb Carl showing up. Egerston, Now, off the front a little bit, I was wondering if we were going to see a little bit of a roll-through move here. 48 kilometers per hour to get away. Interesting here, Dave. It isn't a massive attack. It's a little bit of a push off the front. And sometimes those are more dangerous because nobody thinks it's a threat. Next thing you know, it's enough distance. And everyone keeps thinking, no. And then you've got 10 seconds and there's something else going on here. But he does have to go through the dirt in a moment. A lot of times those dirt sections, they will cause a lot of mayhem because people know they can jump across without others getting an advantage.
And I feel like that's what he's saying right now is, hey, who wants to roll with me? I mean, he kind of has just put an invitation out there. He's waiting for the RSVP right now, talking about Egerston, Swedish Swifters. That's a legacy squad, no doubt about it. So, Nathan, I love the fact here that there's going to be some big plays made. This course, 19K, one lap out here. Even in Zwift racing, I'd call that on the short side, which really means I love the rhythm that we're going to have today. We're going to get to see a lot of races and really all the different chapters of the race. Now out to 2 seconds, like you were talking about, Nathan. Kind of, this is how you quietly roll away and go from being a bit of a problem to a full-on nuisance in the back end of the race.
Yeah, and as he's got 3 seconds here, the only thing that I think I'm not sure that this is super dangerous, Dave, because of that climb that's right in front of him. You know, they're about to hit this ocean cliffside. Look at what we've got, these switchbacks. As you look off in front, you know, and then the bridge. So it goes super steep. We were actually talking tactics a little bit here in-house a little while ago. You know, it goes super steep, and then it flattens out just enough that you could grab a draft, but just enough that you could really speed up the pace without much of a draft helping anybody. So this is an interesting one. Bottom to top, middle of the climb, or attack over the climb through the flat. Those are the 3 sections, really, I think you have the opportunity here.
Yeah, there's only 156 meters of climbing, but it all comes at you really in a couple of kilometers out there. It's going to be interesting to see. Is he getting out and getting a little bit of a buffer here? And that's what's beautiful about the tactics that these teams have, is you never really know what their plan is. But we're moving now into the climb proper here.
Yeah, and now we do have Tori, 9 watts per kilogram, 10 watts per kilogram coming from
Look at this.
Thailand.
That's
11,
how quickly
12.
it comes back.
Woo! There we go. This
3
is what
seconds.
we were talking about. This is exactly what we were talking about when it was going to go off. It was going to go off. Dragons are making it happen now.
Oh, man, this is the American Dragon, I believe, that we're looking at. Penland here, and this is a huge play. We're starting to move the bishops and the rooks around on this chessboard now, Nathan. Here we go. Buckle up, folks. Nathan Penland. But I'm taking a look at who else is coming. There's Grossar. Nathan Grossar is up there. He's the Kirkmeyer rider, that has such a wicked sprint.
Yeah, Johnson here as well, coming out of the UK, making a little bit of a move here. He's on the front. Harry Johnson here. Now it's, oh gosh. Thanks a lot. Appreciate this guy. Skylab. Now Tori, Penland, and Grossar. Kirchfield now following up as well. The KC rider, I think that's a good call out, Dave, about maybe who to be watching out for out here today as well. There's Alice Grossar, 194 centimeters, 78 kilograms, coming in at level 77 and 178 beats per minute, I believe, and he has emptied the tank now at this point.
We were calling this the power bar, Nathan, that is being developed right now at Zwift Community Labs Skunk Works Lab, where they're constantly working. That team there has been developing all kinds of new things for our broadcast, and I have to say that
you just made all of that up on the fly too. Those are all great names for the things that are happening here, Dave.
But it's Nathan, basically, with his and the Batman to your Robin, or the Robin to your Batman, is Alejandro now, right?
Yeah, good stuff here.
We've got some good help though these days, and that, just to explain, that bar there, we were calling it the Energy Bar yesterday. It's brand new on Zwift Community Live, and basically, it's kind of showing you how much gas is left in your tank. It's looking at what you can do historically and how much you're doing right now.
Yeah, and you do see how would you help me out here, Dave? My French is so
La matière.
Good job. Wow, you are so good at that. And so Lametier here from Hexagon, now coming on through, a little bit of a push over the top. And this is what I was talking about, Dave. This is when you can really make the difference because the speeds go high. And when the speeds go high and you can't jump across, that's when the problems really start for the pack. Because if you get a couple off the front with a high speed, nobody comes across, it's game over. Furner sees exactly what we're talking about. Goes to 6.5 watts per kilogram on that little bit of a downhill for a moment there. Will Furner get a little bit of gap? Grosser looks to respond.
Nathan, this all goes back to what you've been talking about the last couple of weeks, is the speed is your friend thing here. The Zwiftcraft element, you explained it perfectly as they came through that segment, and you can see how riders really do have an understanding of that. This is where this is going to be the follow-through right now, isn't it? Is trying to keep that speed high, and just even if you're not breaking away, you're making them work back there. Does that sum that up through that little sector?
Yes, it does, 100%, Dave.
Look at this.
This guy, he's nothing but eyes at you. Like this looks like his attack. It's like he put this up because he knew he was going to attack this way.
He's focused, man. This guy's got super a laser-like focus.
Like, bring it. That is bring it 100% from SZ right now.
And you know what else that is, Nathan? That's a sense of humor. Very Scandinavian right there. Ferner, the rider that we're talking about, I feel like I want to get him a side-by-side with him and Teppo Lorio out there. But the Swede right now is not quite shattering this group, Nathan, but there is a split happening right now. That's dangerous. You've got to get on the right side.
3 riders fell off just from that attack just there. Now another one. Hexagon's trying to get back on terms, actually. Schilling, Penland. Now here's the question, Dave. Things get difficult now at this point. There's no break really that has solidified over the pack. This is a shorter race. The kind of pressure you would have to put on to put anybody out the pack is so massive. And now off in the distance, you've got the one thing that you're kind of thinking, man, I need to do something before then, or this is going to come down to the last couple of K breakaway situation, or we're setting up for a sprint, because you see on the left-hand side, that bridge downhill where someone gets a free ride all the way to the bottom of that little snaking road over there. So this is your last chance really to make anything really, really happen right here. And Ferner's continuing on, interesting enough. Does he have teammates sitting in? I think he does, 1 or 2.
Absolutely does. This is a great play by the Swedish rider. Nathan, we've talked about how downhills are the new uphill, right? I wouldn't be too surprised if what you said comes true. Although attacking on that downhill, there's one little drop that you've got that brings you into 3.5K to go. And we'll see if that's going to be something that they can execute out here. But I'm starting to think, Nathan, that we will see a sprint with so many teams actively protecting their sprinter here. I get the feeling it's going to be hard to break this group up from this point on. We've definitely put these guys through the ringer, but now I'm not expecting anyone else to get dropped out of this group, and that tells me, Nathan, that they're going to have a lot of horsepower to chase back any late race attack, so I'm predicting a sprint today.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, Dave, to give you an idea, even sitting in, though, look at how much energy has been expended from these riders still at this point.
And he's a talent.
Super talent. Watch out for him when it comes down to a sprint. You'll just be our heat. But there is an attack off the front now, Dave. This is what I was talking about. There's last opportunities to... Oh, and it's Caleb Carl. Of course it is Caleb Carl. And this is a move now, Dave. They're going to want to respond. Perfect timing if he wants to push it on the downhill. Ferner's going with him. There's a response from behind from Kirchfield here. They know this is dangerous.
Yeah, Caleb Carl is a Watt wagon, and he's got some help as Ferner's back up and in the mix. So the Swede and the American now attacking out of this group, but actually Ferner's going to go up and over the top. This is an amazing ride. That's Caleb Carl. Caleb, one of the best stories that we've had through the last 5 years in esports. He's a comeback monster, but right now he's latched onto that wheel. So these two are going to...
He's a Terminator.
Terminator.
Dave. Seriously,
absolutely,
he's literally
man.
Got metal parts that are keeping things moving at this point.
Cannot kill him.
That heart that's like a freaking... I don't know what kind of battery, man. This guy is amazing.
He turns into liquid metal, and then he's absolutely amazing. So actually, Caleb Carl is in my Hall of Fame in esports racers as well. Let's see if Ferner
matters, Dave. It's the only one that matters.
The Dave Towle Esport Hall of Fame, located in. We'll put it here in Fort Collins. I don't want a long commute, right? But all right, so Nathan, here we go.
Gallon?
These guys.
That's what I want to know. Caleb Carl's got an
You'll be the keynote
already.
speaker. You'll be our keynote speaker.
Ooh,
so,
kick,
all right,
big kick. Kirchfield's going. 11 watts per kilogram, real quickly there. Well, he's trying to get it. I'm surprised he didn't go into a super tuck just now to
Well,
try and get those paces high. Look at the difference, 62,
he is trying.
65. He is trying. There it is.
There it
There's a
is.
super tuck.
And so Kirkfield here, super experienced rider. He's a Zwift Jedi, no doubt. He's going to now benefit from this. They're going to come up over the top, and that's how you do it, guys. So this is bad news for both Ferner and Carl because this peloton has motivated themselves. They are activated. It's all systems go as full tilt boogie to the finish line, which comes up in about 5K here, a little less than that, actually.
Well, what's the speed differentiation is going to be the big question. Can they hold on to the little bit of advantage that they've gotten? It's going to be very difficult. 70 kilometers per hour, as you can see here, rolling through. They're still got them easily within striking distance, and the kind of power that they have to be putting out up front to try and hold them off. 56 kilometers per hour. Big jump from Kurtzfield. Again, the Dragons just continue to try and bring this back. They're doing all the work here, Dave.
Yeah, well, and they've got the resources. It's going to be interesting if it pays off. I mean, there's no reason to think it won't, but here we go, Nathan. One thing is they've taken the responsibility of this race because this catch is going to be made. So go ahead. Well, I shouldn't say that until it actually is made because the things just go haywire out here. And it's actually a couple of riders splitting off of the front of the peloton here. These are our leaders. That's going to be Ferner and Carl here, the Swede and the American. But Nathan, it looks like the writing's on the walls. We drop down into the aqua tunnel.
There's a split. This could win. Okay, if there's a roll through, though, roll through, and Caleb knows exactly. You know how many times I've done a TTT with this guy, and he's got 4 with him now at this point. If they want to keep on going, but they have to commit full gas right now. Claire now starts to jump across. Is he going to pull the pack though with him? Is a big question. Yeah, and this is a rider here with that pro jersey. A lot of times, all they are is just raw power and no Zwiftiness. I'm not sure if I should be saying that, but I think there's Claire now pulling the whole group. Maybe he wants to, Dave.
I'll tell you what, I'll take a guy with raw power and no Zwiftiness right here, right now to bring this back, and that's
100%.
exactly what's happening. You know what I mean? Like you use riders to your benefit, and Claire's going to reset the table here. Now, what kind of damage has been done behind? Because this is absolutely bearing the accelerator down on the floorboard now. It's going to be chaos here for our finale. Let's take a look who's really riding the front. Ferner's here, Kirkfield's here, Claire's here. This is awesome.
Look at this guy.
Jacob, so has he
has he been just sitting in, or his threshold is set to 500? That's one or the other. And maybe he does have a threshold of close to 500 with that pro kit on. Watch out for the man out of Switzerland. I think he's a danger right now.
I could not argue, Nathan, and I'm going to be hopping on the Googles right now to see what kind of in real life experience he's got, because this is some very impressive stuff. It's pretty rare that we have former professional rider racing from Switzerland. His career really was active between 2018 and 2023. Talking about Jacob Claire, the Swiss rider, he rode for the Tudor team, which is the team that has really become the new BMC for Switzerland. Super impressive that he was 4th at the Swiss National U23 Time Trial Championship.
Big move.
4th in the U23 road race. Huge talent.
Sorry. There's a move that just went, and I got to find it. Whoa, big move. I mean, these distance almost out of sight. They're just letting it go here at this point, Dave. This is danger. Who is this guy? Travel Sport. Not familiar with is that like a play on XP? Like literally? Like what's this guy? Who is this guy?
So French rider here making around 6.5 watts per kilo. You're going to see over Hexagon 10 now coming from the peloton. So they're not, I'm surprised they even let it go out to 4 or 5 seconds here, Nathan, but they're responding and big time.
Yeah, big response here coming on in. Tori from Skylab now pulling this back together. Dave, this is so interesting the way that this is playing out now, because it's not really coming together as a group sprint from what I'm seeing at this point. It's going to get completely stretched out, and then it may regroup very quickly, and then there'll be another, and then another, and then another, I think, is what's going to keep on happening from here all the way to the line, because, Dave, we're within about 2K now at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is where, Nathan, the guys who have that power profile that favors the 1-2 minute range, this is where you got to roll the dice. And it looks like 5 riders are doing exactly that. The sprinters are in that peloton that is lurking right behind them, and they're attacking out of this group. We've talked about the American Dragon, and here he is. This is going to be dangerous. Nathan Penland now on the attack. We're down to it, Nathan. 1K, more or less. The red kite prayer coming in now.
Yeah, Penland now making a move. Nicely done here from him. Can he hold on to it? But it's going to be the Hexagon rider, Travel Sport over the top. Now, 8 watts per kilogram. They might hold on, Dave.
Well, he's sprinting. Kirkfield just now going here. He's the third rider in line. He's in the draft. He's going to get another draft. We're going station to station. This is Kirkfield's race to lose.
I think they got it, Dave. They're gone. They're almost
This
out.
dragon.
Like they're totally gone. They've got this now. At this point, there's
Claire's their problem. They're going to have to beat the Swiss rider. Claire's here. Claire is here.
He came over the top, 191 now at this point. Another kick here coming from Penland. Penland now holding on, 187 beats per minute, 430 watts. Here comes Claire. Claire, 12 watts per kilogram. Another little kick from him, but does he know his Zwiftiness now at this point? It's going to be the big question now. Trying to make a jump, but I don't think so. I think Kirkfield's got the punch now. Dragon's now coming through. Penland, Kirkfield, Penland, Kirkfield. No, Kirkfield, there it is. We saw it yesterday, the big kick. He saved for the arrow power up all the way to the line, and it's going to be Kirkfield, followed up by Claire.
Still.
Then Travel Sport. The Dragons coming on through here as well with Red. 4 all the way across the line. Now it's going to be for 5th. Buster there out of Denmark, followed up by Caleb Carl somewhere there in 7th or so. That's the situation for the A category. What a battle, Dave.
Quick takeaway, Nathan, that we'll hear a lot more from Claire, the silver standard out here. The Dragons are back, and they are raging right now. So that was one heck of a start for our Open EMEAE. Southern won. The big hitters in this group put on quite a show. And
I love.
I don't know. Was that?
I loved all the way we got to go through all of those. Yeah, the way we got to go through all of them. Here we go, though. We're jumping right down in with the bees, everybody, and we are going to try and cover across as best as we possibly can. I know it doesn't say what they are on the rider nearby list. I apologize for that. It is the reality of ZRL days. The ways that we get into the race are interesting, but we're there. We found it in with the B category for that Southern EMEA Southern 1 and Finelli SST. We're going to catch the finish here for him.
Yeah, all right. We're jumping right in for the highlight reel here. So the Italian off of the front, put some orange numbers up on the board. So he's not playing around, Nathan. Let's see what kind of a gap. Wow, looks pretty good to me at 6 seconds, and he's still making power numbers that are higher than the chase. That's going to flip and flop any second now, but still with 7 seconds here at 1K to go. He's in with more than a good shot. This is a great chance to win here.
I think
for
he's
Finelli.
got this. I think Finelli's got this. Actually, I don't think that they're bringing. I don't think they're.
He'd have to really fade at this point to not hold on. I'm with them. This is Marcello Finelli of the SST team here, and with that the power bar there, Nathan, or the energy bar that we're talking about, the new graphic.
Emptying quick. He waited. Look at how quickly
but he's got
it's
8 seconds.
Here. Yeah, I mean,
this is going to be close.
Obviously he saved for this moment with the way that this is going down right there. As you can see up in that 400, massive wattage he's throwing down here, coming out of Italy here. But I think he's got, one rider trying to come across Vegas, but it's 7-8 watts per kilogram here. The guy out of Portugal, can he jump this, Dave? This is closing really quickly too.
Yikes. All right. This is how deep you have to dig as Marcello Finelli will be scraping. Mamma mia! They're coming! Oh, boy. So Viegas now is going to do everything he can to try to make that catch. He's going to run out of real estate really quickly. What a finale to jump in. João Viegas here, the Portuguese rider. He's got the accelerator all the way down on the floorboard, and it's still, can he catch him? I think it's going to be Finelli for the win.
Oh, it's so close. Here comes the rest of the pack, too, Dave. I mean, it's right to the line. Oh, you're right. I think you're right. Just barely, though, Dave. It's just going to be right there. Whoa, it's a race of meters. He just did it. Just barely. Ooh. There's second place.
Grande. That's huge for Marcello Finelli, our B champion. Nathan, go ahead and remember that ride. Courage personified here today. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. That was really so close. Here comes the rest of the pack. Why do we have a black screen? I have no idea. That should not have been happening, but that was at least a replay of our. See, we didn't have any sound at the beginning, so we saved it for that moment right there.
Sound.
Just for all of you. We can take a quick look at the results, and then for those 2 races, I'll see if we can bring up the C's and how long that will take us here. But we can get those 2 races results for you. And ladies, they're starting in about 11 minutes for us, just so everybody knows. We'll be jumping in with the women in just a few minutes here and see how that's been playing, how that's going to be playing out for our 12:10. But there's Kirkfield at the top. Do you want to take us through while I try and find those C's for us?
He's a dragon. On top of the table, Kirkfield for the win, but it was exciting. We certainly were introduced to a new talent in ZRL, the A-level Jakob Clare coming from the Tudor team to race with us. So welcome to the league. It's going to be xptravelsport.com there in third.
A website
Commercialize
took
the
third
sport
place.
or anything.
Wow,
Yep.
sheesh.
We need sponsors where we can get them, right? Another dragon, Nathan Penland, up there in fourth and very active today. Red was a dragon too. So this is a team-based league. The points are scored by all of the riders on each team. So obviously the Dragons off to a tremendous start. The good news for the other teams, Nathan, is you can only get so many points on that table. They'll take 20, but the second place team will be at 19. So even though they dominated today, there's still plenty of hope left. As Red there in fifth, Mads Buster for sixth, Antoine Besson for seventh, Matt Webster eighth, Caleb Carl holds on for ninth after being in that late race breakaway, Harry Johnson for 10th. We typically have been doing the top 30. Actually, I don't know typically what we've been doing. This is new. Right, yep.
Yeah, not ZRL. We'll go top
That's
10
for our
ZRL.
Z Racing friends that we spend Mondays with. So, but there's your top 10, and you can always go to WTRL.racing. That's the clearinghouse for all the information that you would need about racing or getting involved if you would like to race yourself. So that was our A's that we're looking at. This will be the B's. We just saw this finale with Marcello Finelli, a courageous breakaway that holds on. It was Ivan Belyakov coming through for second, Diego Bonamigo for third. It's Christian Buchart for fourth, Niels H in fifth, Daryl Fitzel in sixth, Andy Meter for seventh, Tom Hagman he's got Mr. T up there in eighth, Joao Viegas in ninth, and Persu rounds out your top 10 in our Bs. And I know while I've been reading the table, Nathan's been hard at work trying to get us more in-depth coverage of the first race of the season here. I believe this is the 12th, this is the third season of this block, but I think this is our 12th overall season. I have to go back and look. Here's our finish.
Seasons. And look at this. R2, D2, R2 go 1, 2, 3 there for the C's. I don't think there's a D2 with them there. They're not robots as of yet, but
C3PO taking
those
bronze.
guys. What was that about? See, we just caught it just at the end there. I found those C.
That was a group
riders.
sprint.
Yeah, but there was
like
of like 3 or 4 R2 riders that just like dominated that. It looks like in this
kind
C
of like
category.
dragons. Is R2
well, look, they have experience, obviously. Look at this ZRL helmet for these guys.
If you're new to joining us, that's what you win, your virtual helmet there for being a champion from a previous season. We started doing that about the 4th season in. We group each season into blocks of 3. And that goes back a couple of years ago that those helmets emerged. Let me jump right in, Nathan, as Florian Bartholomew is going to take the win here he just came across the line moments ago. In 30 minutes, 11 seconds over 19K today in the Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop. Philip Grigg for second, Marcus Dildrup for third. It's Alexei Nestorov in fourth, Efim Veloslavov in fifth, M. Gavrilov in sixth, Stefan Svensson seventh, Adrian in eighth, Kurt Colby in ninth, and then Cedric Mentler rounding out our top 10 for the C's here in Open EMEAE Southern.
And
so that was
we've got our D categories here. We were able to go across them all, Dave. Perfect distance here. Nice job, WTRL. We can actually make it.
I agree.
I love it.
Thank you, WTRL. And Martin,
Pearson.
Team Ukraine rider there. Oh, sorry, Nathan.
All good. We've got, it is Team Ukraine, actually. You're all good. It's Yushchenko, but Pearson is the rider who's off the front. They do have a little bit of a breakaway. This probably happened over the top of the cliffside, I would think. And then they started battling with each other up until this point with about less than 2K to go.
All right, so this is going to be Pearson, the Raptors rider, just off the front. Now, I don't think that he's too worried about being caught. It looks like a reset happening here, and this group should be going to the line, possibly a counterattack coming. This is our D's now getting very close to the final K. Looks like
Yeah,
it might be a reduced group sprint, Nathan.
it does look like it is going to be a reduced group sprint, but they do have the Raptors have numbers, it looks like. They could start playing some games. They're the only team with 2 in this situation. It does look like they are going to play some games. See, this is so different because of the numbers, right, Dave? Like, you get to this point with this number of riders and you can mess around a little bit more, especially if the pack isn't that close to you. So they've gotten enough landscape between them and the pack to kind of play some games here, but I'm surprised that the Raptors are not making a push.
So if you really want to break it down to like the 101 level, Nathan, if you're the best sprinter in this group, you're just waiting until it's kind of simple in that way, in that I mean, it gets down to 100 meters, you just start sprinting. But other than that, you really are just waiting for someone to lead out this sprint, jump into their slipstream and go win. That's kind of how you execute if you truly believe that you're the best in this group. Other riders then have to get crafty, right? And figure out, how do I work around that? And that's really what bike racing is all about when you get to this point. Sprinting out of a small group is definitely a tough equation to solve.
I like this guy's name, Tommy Watts. Does Tommy Watts actually have that many watts left? He does. He's making a little bit of a move. This guy's name is great. Tommy Watts on the move here. Now look at this. Look at this. Avatar is just, this guy's awesome. Fluidity cycling, super down. But here they come, Dave. They're galloping behind now. Is he gonna? Oh,
he doesn't care.
He kind of, Dave. I think he kind of baited them. He baited them a little bit here. But here comes Scott. Scott now making a move. D. Scott now. WCC. Oh no! He's got an arrow power up though. Last moment arrow power up. It's gonna be Tommy Watts to the line. Oh my gosh! He makes it happen. It looks like Tommy Watts with the last ditch move sneaks off the front. Takes it down.
All right. And you're right, Nathan. He got that little gap and he kind of waited, kind of baiting when they went.
Yeah, they all thought he wasn't going to do much. It kind of seemed like they all thought he wasn't actually going to go for the, or wasn't going to have a kick. And he totally baited them there. That was so great.
Never underestimate a guy whose last name is Watts. So
First
these
name
results
Tommy,
will populate.
Last name Watts. I like it.
That's all you need to know. So congratulations, Tommy. That was really great. Good Zwiftcraft out there. Tommy Watts for the win. So they're actually still racing, but we do have that group that just finished here. So Tommy Watts for the W. Daz Scott, good effort. He got it down to less than a second there at the finish. He'll take silver. Rob Lonsdale for third. Francis Pearson in fourth. He was that late race break that we saw just getting caught, but certainly showed a lot of heart. Francis Sergei Yushchenko, Team Ukraine rider there in fifth, and Mark Hopkins of the Dinos in sixth. So that's our Ds. I know we're just a few minutes away now from sending the women out on course, as we'll move through a lot of European racing out here today. Actually, I mean, European time zones, but racers from around the world. As today is Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop, a nice 19-kilometer course, one lap out here to start off a 6-race season. We'll be racing every week here on Tuesdays. And all right, Gabby, one of the most positive people I've ever met, and one heck of a bike racer as well, out here cheering on some of the women. I see, well, we'll have a chance. I haven't actually looked at any of these names yet, Nathan, so it's all fresh to me. But I see Emily Nyquist out here. There's a big talent.
Yeah, Nyquist. So Riot is showing up today. So be on the watch out for the Riot team. Obviously, we've got Guerra here for Riot. I think it's Riot House Party. I do have a little bit of inside knowledge. That's what they're calling themselves for the, the European crew. They, though, have the, let's see here. There is Guerra. She's got the Brazilian flag. And super chill at 103 beats per minute. Let's see who else is hanging out here, though. There's plenty of other riders that you need to be watching out for. Nyquist, as you did say, also one to be watching out for from the Riot team out here at 96 beats per minute currently, with a little under 2 minutes to start for these riders taking on their 19K on the Ocean Cliffside Loop.
This is a huge group that we've got for our women's A field. And I haven't even looked at the Bs yet. Cecilia Hansen. Aeonian rider. Daniela Strate. Oh, boy. This is going to be fun, folks. This might be the best race of the day that we've got coming up here. You hear names like Estrate and Hansen, you know that that's the Aeonian A team. Femke Disease here, Leonie Harper as well, Wendy Matthey, and Sabrina Curtiel. So Aeonian legacy squad, Nathan, that might even be selling them short. Sarah Roach, the marathoner. Boy, Sarah has been amazing as we've gotten to know her over the last couple of months. I've been really, really impressed by her ethic. And that's going to be Tiffany Penner as well on that Avis Synergy team. So they're in for the fight, Nathan, talking about Avis Synergy.
Yeah, and I'd also be watching out. We've got Beast Mode showing up out here. Maria Marb and the whole crew.
Legend.
Yeah, definitely watch out for the Beast Mode crew. KC is here as well when it comes to the German squads. So serious firepower amongst these ladies today.
Jessica Edqvist is taking the start. A Swedish rider. The entire Swedish mafia of Zwift racing is here. Anna Svardström, Cornelia Engström, Nathan. These are the biggest names in the sport in this group. Fully recognizing what Zwift Grand Prix is. It's so great for us to have the talented athletes racing here with us as well, like Johanna Zimmerman, who is fully charged and ready to rock. She looks like a fun person to get out and enjoy riding with.
Yeah, and here we go, Dave. Riders starting to kick off as we jump in with Zimmerman. Look immediately. This gives you an idea of the energy expenditure right from the get-go in these races, doesn't it, Dave?
Boy, that's like looking at your electric vehicle on a cold day. We're like, if I'm losing this much power this fast, I need to go. I better take in a gel at the start, right? I mean, and that's the way these women are going to race. It's a short race, 19K. So they're definitely, even if it's not aggressive, it's still hard. There really is no easy in esports, but I have a feeling with the quality of field that we have, Nathan, I mean, let me throw that at you. You're the real expert here. What do you think? Does this group get split on the one climb that we have, even though it's certainly no Alpe to Zwift? It's your opportunity. Do they try to blow this race up there at about 9K in?
I think it's going to be really tactical, Dave. I really do think that the ladies, they come with plans at this level. They have a plan. And they're going to end up, throwing some bombshells to try and get the energy to be expended, I think, out there from different individuals and see what they can launch. That's what I think is going to be happening.
Nathan, in road racing, you'll see test attacks, right? Teams sending riders up the road just to see how other teams respond. That's sophisticated racing, I would say. And I think that's kind of what we're going to see here.
100%. Sophisticated racing is a good way to put it. Britt Litton is here, Dave. Watch out for her. She tends to be one who likes to throw the cat amongst the pigeons, I think, here, Dave. She definitely... No, seriously, like...
That's a great saying. And yeah, absolutely, Nathan.
Yeah, she tends to be this one who just likes to be super disruptive when it comes to the racing. So watch out for Brittany Litton. She was a big pickup out of New Zealand coming from Anna Russell for that Riot team, and she's been a great asset for setting people up.
Well, thanks for that tip. There's going to be the riders that come out of the woodwork today as well, and that's what's so exciting. I don't know, Nathan, it's sort of weird. It's not someone who loved school myself, but there's a dynamic around the first day of school, seeing everybody's new notebooks, and just kind of that energy exists for us out here as well, getting everybody back together. It's been a few weeks since these women have had a chance to race in the ZRL, as I believe it's 3 weeks, maybe even a month ago that the season ended, but here we are now back ready to hit hard. And nobody wants to play their cards too early. Nobody wants to be that cat that's scaring the pigeons yet.
Not quite yet. You know what? And let's talk to that. Why? What's the reasoning here, you think, Dave? I mean, there isn't really that much. The racers can make the race at any moment, but at the same time, with the kind of climb that they're going to be taking on with Ocean Cliffside, you don't want to expend too much energy. You don't want that battery completely emptied when you hit that moment.
Nathan, one of the things I really took away from the old Tour of California days was something a writer named Alex Candelario told me about. The difference between racing at the top level in North America versus the World Tour was whenever you're in a World Tour race, whenever something happens, there's a reason why. there's an objective behind that. And here it is. That's the action that I'm talking about.
Dave. I said, oh, Brett Litton for the move. Go ahead, Dave.
On script, as Nathan said, this is the kind of rider that does this kind of thing. The reason you do this kind of thing is to stir the pot. There were some beans burning on the bottom, right? So Litton now is going to activate this race, and it might not back off again. It was only a matter of time. Nathan, it was like being in a room where you could hear a ticking sound, and you knew that was in a suitcase and a ticking time bomb, and it just blew up. So we're going to be racing now 19K. Litton is going to make the first big move. Now, let's see what happens with the chase, the cover, the counterattack. Does she go wire to wire? I guess not quite wire to wire. This attack came at 2.4K in, but there you go. It kicks up.
Yeah, a little bit of an uphill grind that's going to help the pack out a little bit, but definitely going to start seeing some of these batteries getting undone. As Redmond there, Cinch Riot is there as well. So Redmond now backing off the front, it looks like, making sure that she's not chasing anything too well. Well, actually, Rose Beast Mode here with Pearl making a little bit of move to bring something back. McKay's also here as well. Wait, do we actually have, as far as the teams go, that's the Roca Corba kit. Is that the only one amongst them here, though? I think, do we have a Roca Corba team hanging out with McKay?
Don't. I'm going to guess that maybe that's just someone who didn't get their kit changed in game.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I'm going to see who Helen's riding for right now.
We'll track that down.
Loving the picture there coming from Helen McKay. And I believe that's a British cycling kit as well. So
100%.
Good to see. Good to see.
They don't just hand those out in a gumball machine, do they?
It might come from a gumball machine, but they don't just hand them out.
All right, so everybody back together now. So that early move. Maria Marb is another name I'm seeing here that brings a massive amount of talent and experience into this ZRL group. So Riot activates things, but gets snuffed out. Let's see who's next out here.
Yeah, it's pretty chill now at this point, it looks like. And riders recharging here at this point. Borson,
a lot of bucket hats.
Fulton, Synergy. What? Are they really wearing the bucket hats? Are you seeing bucket hats?
Yeah, they are. I saw 3 of them.
Oh,
if you
I'm
focus
so sorry.
and see right there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There's one. Beast Mode's got one on too. I mean, are we
There's
in the
another.
jungle? We're not even going to the jungle.
At least they're not going to get skin cancer. That's super important.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a big problem for avatars nowadays.
Hey, it's beach. They probably, were looking at the literature. It said, hey, beach,
yeah,
got to
beach
get your
island
sunscreen
loop,
on. And
sunscreen, bucket hats, protect the nose, the forehead. So
it's also a vibe, as the kids say. So we're in with Ms. McKay, Helen McKay right now in the peloton. Things pretty comfortable. And Nathan, during the men's race earlier, we talked about this is ominous when you're rolling around in a group. For these women, 3 watts per kilo is conversation pace, but when it goes hard, it's going to go ballistic. So it's sort of that feeling of, okay, it's easy now, but this is only going to change in a dramatic way, and I don't know when. So it's sort of out of your control, unless you want to attack.
Yeah, I think there's a moment here we're about to be looking at, though, because of this. We saw it last time heading into the Italian village, didn't we, Dave? So I think there's going to be a moment here where we'll have some pretty serious moves being made as they head up.
Is it because of the gravel,
village.
Nathan? Is it because you get a bigger delta gain if you make a big effort on this gravel here?
Yeah, it's because the gravel slows everybody down, and so you just have to work harder to hang on. That's just it. Because the advantages come with speed when it comes to drafting.
100%. And you attack a bike race not when it's easy, but when it's in the gutter, and sometimes you have to put them in the gutter. And it doesn't look like anybody wants to roll those dice right now, and I fully understand. This race, maybe, Nathan, at 9K in is where this one goes crazy, and that's not even a guarantee, but I can't imagine it's not full bore racing it's full bore racing right now. Here we go, another attack coming out of this group, and this is going to be, you're going to want to be going with this one, Nathan. You cannot let this go up the road without latching onto a wheel, as it's Litton again.
Yeah, she just continues. She's just bold. She's just Taking the bull by the horns here over and
Nancy.
over again, making the race hard. I like what she's up to here. Danelle covers it immediately from ESRT, though.
Who are her teammates that are going to benefit from this? That's probably the best thing to start looking at right now, Nathan, as she's making an impact, and it might not be necessarily for her ultimate placing. This is going to be Hannah Dennell that we're in with now, one of the movie star
ESRT. She's in ESRT here for the for today. Yes, but does
just
ride movie star across the entirety esports high end. But now here, Sweden. She's also one of the really well-known riders, actually. Well, here we go. I'm hearing a little bit of a background. I tend to get a little background information.
I can tell that would be Nathan's wife, Gabby, back there on Discord, that she's talking with her team. They race in the same, or she races in the same studio where Nathan is broadcasting from. Could you tell what she was talking about? Can you give us any info?
Yeah, she said, going to attack now. I think everyone's hurting, so I'm going to counter, is what she said. And so she's got a little bit of a gap. Now Thompson from RWB looking to come across 7 watts per kilogram real quickly, but I think she might have been correct there with only 2.4 on the front. Somebody's got to find a little bit of energy to expend here because she's getting into a steady mode now, as you can see. To try and hold as much speed as she possibly can. What's the match on the speed, though, is going to be the big question. 46 here currently coming from the pack. Will they have the roll through? It's going to be all about speed as to whether or not Guerra and Thompson can hold on to this, though. It's not about power. It's about speed.
It's interesting because you start looking then at, is it Melaine Proust, the top sprinter, the hexagon rider that benefits most from having a relatively calm pace that we've seen? This is going to be Riders Without Borders. Love this squad out of Ireland and Northern Ireland and Denmark now. Maria T. Thompson is the rider here with RWB getting up to join Gabby. That's Gabby with the Brazilian flag and the riot kit. This is Sarah Roach. Here comes the rider out of Houston, Texas. All right, Sarah. So looks like some of the big hitters are motivated now, Nathan. We're moving into the middle chapters of this book, and definitely Gabby Guerra has started to fire.
Yeah, and this is interesting that what they've done here as Roach looks to jump across, almost gets on terms, it looks like here. She's got a little bit of a draft here at this point. Will she get back on? It looks like she's going to be able to grab
Absolutely.
here. We'll have a 3-up rider situation. Penner, though, chasing her teammate, which is interesting. Now, Dave, the thing with that chase, though, is, sometimes, it is about the points at the end of the day, though, isn't it, Dave?
Well,
at the end of the day, the points across the finish line.
Can you go? So, Nathan, I'm thinking that Penner is trying. Yeah. So you can see that she's not really giving a draft to that group behind her. Synergy making a big play. Is Roach going back to try to help her join? This is crazy. Great racing going on right now. So looking at the front of the bike race again, that's going to be Gabby Guerra driving things. Actually, Thompson has come through now and is taking pulls. So they're swapping pulls up there. Penner and Roach second. If they might go back to the peloton right now, Nathan, and go back to the safety. That's all going to come back together, it looks like. But that was some aggressive racing as we came through the pier.
Yeah, all back together now. Things are calming right on down as they're heading into the bottom of this climb. Thompson now pressing on just a little bit. Interesting to me that this isn't complete. Now I think they're actually saying, okay, this is done. Thompson, though, it kind of...
Or are they?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of like, well, let's keep the pace kind of high.
Well, and a lot of times it's like, hey, if we're up here and we've established this position, let's not just give it all back, as it's about another few hundred meters as you see the huge wind turbine there. Another few hundred meters and you're going to be into the climb proper today. Not Alpe d'Huez, but it is a difference maker.
Yeah, and you can see off in the distance, there it is, exactly what you were talking about, Dave. Look at these turbines. I love it. Wow, it's right there. Wow, I didn't realize they took the right-hand turn already. Dave, they're about to take the climb on here, the recovery, and then boom. Who's been sitting in and waiting for this moment is going to be a big question, isn't it? I think you're going to see a couple of riders who have been really... Now, here's the thing. I saw her on the start list as well, but where is Cecilia? I'm not sure she made the race today, though. On the start list, but was she in the pens? I don't have her in my rider nearby list. I don't think Hansen actually made the start. So that changes everything.
Thank you. Absolutely. That I appreciate that, Nathan. And this is something that will happen in real life or in esports, to tell you the truth. So that's noteworthy. However, another name we haven't talked about is Aaron Ayala, the Revo rider. It's going to be interesting to see who emerges, as this is it right now. You can't win the race here, but you certainly can help other riders lose it. That's for sure. And Nathan, this is going to be good, as Foley's still up there. M. Nyquist making her move.
This
Let's
is a big
see.
move. This is a big move from Nyquist, and she's been sitting in all the way until this point. She is a very good climber, light rider, punchy rider too, very punchy rider. So this is a kind of climb that suits her. She can get a little bit of distance here up toward the top and really bait out some chase here from the rest of the teams, I think, as Nyquist now pushes on to try and get the others to chase.
I think, Nathan, this is going to have a huge impact on the back of this field. What M. Nyquist is doing right now is putting a whole round of riders into the hurt box. Look at that peloton. That's a great view, but there's just seeing blood now, as at least a dozen riders don't survive in the peloton, is my estimation right now. M. Nyquist is really crushing. This is going to have a massive impact on the finale of this race. What sprinters won't be able to hitch onto this caravan of pain?
Yeah, and you can see 5 seconds now at this point. It is being matched by Penner, though. Penner now, 5.2 watts per kilogram. Tanya's there also from ESRT now at this point. So Penner,
it's going to be a 20-rider group.
Yeah, it's getting really shuffled now here at this point, isn't it, Dave? As Penner here's emptying the tank here, trying to bring this back. Foley's there as well. It looks like Tanya from ESRT is going to be another rider who's now taking on the charge at the front.
Tiffany Penner canucking up right now. So she is absolutely going to be a rider to watch. This is the German Tanya that we've got right up on the front as well, sitting second wheel. So Nyquist at this point now being rejoined, but she will be proud of this effort, as they're, oh boy, it's going to be interesting how many riders are able to rejoin. This is the point now where they hit a bit of a plateau. So it's not completely, it's sort of a false flat for the next 2K, Nathan, before you get a bit of a reprieve and start descending. But false flat is a good way to put it here.
Yeah, and she's got 8 seconds, and Dave, it's not necessarily coming back. Like, if she can continue on over the top of this, now that's going to be the big question. The speed over the top of this section, 3% gradient is going to, as soon as we go to 1 or 0, that's going to be the telltales whether or not this comes back or M. Nyquist gets the distance she needs to take this all the way to the line.
Well, and I mean, right now, she's had the biggest impact of any racer out there. But the thing is, Nathan, that she's going to watch the script flip a little bit when riders like Gabby Guerra start chasing. And that gap, well, we're looking at it's coming down a little bit right now, kind of like watching an ice cube melting in your drink.
But they're teammates, Dave. They're teammates, Dave. She just jumped across to her teammate.
Oh, fantastic point there. So, and do they work together, or does Gabby carry on? I'm sure that they're
100% work together.
Out.
100%. I mean, at this point, Gabby's going to try and give her a wheel, and Nyquist now can pull through. They got to keep the speed as high as they possibly can, but Avis is going to be all alarm bells kicking off. That's for sure. As Penner, look, 196 beats per minute here coming from Penner. She looks to try and bring this back now. 3 seconds, but Dave, the separation behind here at this point. Look, there's only 1, 2, 3 that are able to go with this.
I could count on one hand the number of times that I've seen someone do what Gabby just did, which was successfully bridge up to a teammate, link up, and start working together. But I think the reality now is that Penner is on fire today. Same thing for Riders Without Borders, Foley here. So, and Danelle and Tanya, the German, all are coming. So we might see a little bit of a regrouping here, maybe 6 to 8 riders making up the vanguard of this race here, down to 8K to go. And it does, I mean, not everybody's going to survive going through that pain thresher here. Let's see who makes this front group. Maybe 5.
Yeah, and that's exactly, I think, what the riders from Ride are looking for is to try and reduce this field, not let it come down to a sprint, it looks like here, Dave. And Nyquist, if she can hang on to the train that is Gabriela Guerra now at this point, she has an amazing kick, actually. And I think Nyquist is just hanging on at this point. Guerra here driving this at this point, but the kick that Nyquist has been working on is, I think, a lot what they're setting up for as well. Well, Nyquist now pulling through at 6 watts per kilogram, maybe. Well, no, I think that's just to hang on there, those little punches.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just a little too much power for a moment there. But these two, they won't be disappointed to be joined by these three. It actually helps their chances of getting to the finish in a small group, a 5-rider group, 2 from Riot here. This is a really good job by the Riot team to help control their destiny here. It might not be 5 either, the way Gabby Guerra is driving this right now. She's actually starting to put a little bit of distance between her and her teammate, and covering that gap is going to be Foley coming through right now, filling in that gap. So it might be Nyquist, after that huge effort to establish this situation. She probably doesn't want to put her nose in the wind for a little bit. I think she'd be better off letting Gabby drive this group at this point. This is going to be Danelle, the Swedish rider, trying to join, but I think that, oh boy, it's like she just
she
caught
went with,
no
she
woman's
went with
land
up
now.
front, but yeah, she was not able to hang on, so the pace was just a little too high to hang on. She was there, but now at this point, it is a 4-up group, Dave, and they've got 11 seconds. And Synergy, I think, are they controlling at the front, or do they want to bring this back together? Because they've got 2. Here's the thing: they've only got 1 up ahead. So that kind of puts them in an interesting situation, Dave, because Riot have the numbers up ahead, or do they just want to stack the group sprint? That could be another opportunity for them at this point, because if they can't bring this back and they waste too much energy, they could just lose out in the sprint anyways, right? And so at this point, you just let Penner try and do her thing up there, I think, from Synergy.
Interesting. I mean, and this is great strategy. It's going to be based on points for your entire team, and they are much better off to let Penner do her thing and focus on what their objective is out here, down to 6.5K. This is the Machiavellian chess match that is esports racing. No doubt about it. All of these dynamics at play right now. But yeah, I mean, Nathan Penner just on fire out here. And I think that you're better off to let her do what she does and focus on getting the points that you can, because it's still an outstanding performance. But there you go, taking a look at our 4 leaders together right now. That's the front group. Heather Foley is a name to remember as the Irish rider here on that Riders Without Borders team. She, along with Penner in the blue jersey, that's this Avis Synergy rider, and then 2 from Riot here with Gabby Guerra and M. Nyquist. I really think that they hold on. It's 13, 14 seconds right now. Sarah Roach now, it looks like she's attacking out of the peloton.
This is a huge moment here right now, whether or not these riders actually work together to keep the speeds high. Because that pack behind now, a lot of it comes also down to whether or not the pack behind wants to do speeds. Like, there's so much opportunity on downhills that a lot of times riders do not understand. Like, there's a huge opportunity on downhills in Zwift specifically to get massive amounts of time if you are willing to find it. At 54 kilometers per hour, this is kind of a lazy pack, to be honest. At this point, I don't like if I'm a DS, I'm yelling at my team right now. Like, what are you doing?
Wasn't this where in the men's race earlier we saw riders sprinting up to the point where they could get into a super tuck?
Yep, right? Exactly. Yeah, there's wasted speed right now. Like, every single second you're not over 57 kilometers per hour on a downhill that's more than 3%, you are wasting speed. So now Penner, at least here now, takes it to the front there, gets it to 7%. Now they are doing something here, 64, but that pack, because of the numbers that they have, are probably going to travel faster. So there was a whole huge, like, maybe 500 meters there where it got neutralized instead of getting an advantage.
Yeah, and you would think that all things being even, the peloton, although it is a reduced peloton as well, when we go back, I think it might be 14 riders, something like that in that group, not even 14. It looks like less than 10, actually, here. And this is Chase 1 that we're talking about with 4 riders up the road. And Yeah, Nathan, this is not a.
Whoa, Roach wants to go, Dave.
She knows what she's doing.
She just used her arrow power up on a downhill 77. She wants to bring this back quick, jumps into 8 watts per kilogram and says goodbye to everybody else, Dave. Speed is queen here still. And Dave, this is what I'm talking about. They get motivated behind with that kind of speed, and that wasted 500 meters. All of that effort earlier gone the moment that they get anywhere near to them because they can start jumping out of here. Riders have been sitting in. Dave, this is why you can't play games like that.
Look how she really changed the mentality of this group as well. Talking about what Sarah Roach is doing, that's a spark plug of a human being right now. So the gap was at 15, 16 seconds. Over the last minute, it's gone down 6 seconds. So a huge effort being made by the chase. This is far from over as we're down to less than 4K of racing until this is done and dusted. A peloton has had another breath of air breathed into it, I should say, as we're looking at. It's hard to believe that's the peloton, but that's all that's left after really M. Nyquist and Gabby Guerra just destroying on the climb. And now, though, here, this is the charge of the Light Brigade. These riders that are still left, it's really where it looks like Maria Marb is there. We've talked about Tanya, the ESRT rider. So we'll keep working our way through this group as there's some very dangerous women. You could see them in the aqua tunnel right now. Don't look back. Nothing good happening back there. This breakaway still, this is all. So if you are Penner, Nathan, do you roll the dice right now and say, I'm not going to pull, I'm not going to completely commit to this breakaway with 2 Riot riders here, knowing that you've got your teammate Sarah Roach on fire in that group behind? It might be better for Penner not to assist Riot right now.
I think you're right, Dave. I think that the reality is that Synergy can just sit in and watch at this point. But the other side of that, right, is that then Riot might start going on the attack. And then you've got this wild card in here with Foley, who seems really strong at this moment.
100%. So, Nathan, this is a great example now of what those two, Foley and Penner, can do. As Riot has every reason for this to go to the line. They'll get at worst 3rd and 4th, which most likely will put them as the top team, and that's how this WTRL league is based. I'm thinking, though, that what Tiffany Penner or Heather Foley, looking at the sprint here, does favor Tiffany by a little bit, but Heather Foley looks quite capable, and you never know the motivation and everything going on. So that being said, these two have a really good opportunity now where they'll play both sides of the coin. They can sit on Riot and then should be a little fresher for the sprint if they do stay away. And if it doesn't stay away, well, that worked out then for them because they didn't contribute in the last couple of K. It's brutal to do that, to sit on a breakaway, Nathan, but it might be the tactic.
M. Nyquist comparison here now with Tiffany Penner, as you can see, a little bit higher. Watch out for this sprint. I have a feeling that Nyquist has been doing a lot of work here to keep the pack off. I thought the pack was going to be coming back. Not going to be happening at 16 seconds, I believe, at this point. Gabriella here now at 12.1, the favorite on the sprint, I think, at this point. So maybe that's why Nyquist on the front.
Multiple reasons, right? So it definitely, Gabby would be the woman to beat. But this is where I don't want to see Foley on the front for her sake now. I definitely think for Riot, they realize how great of an opportunity this is. And when you know somebody wants something, Nathan, it makes it easier to execute against them in tactics. And M. Nyquist, so Gabby's being very patient and smart here. She's not closing the gap to her teammates. She realizes it might not be a bad play for M. Nyquist to attack out of this group and then let Gabby sit on the chase and then counter for the win.
Yeah,
that's what I'd do.
Not bad. The only thing is that you could make a big risk here and end up with Nyquist in 4th, which isn't
just
horrible.
Still not bad if you
not
win.
Horrible. No, you're right. That's true. That's definitely true. It's really going to come right down to if they just can sit in go 2, right, and they can just hold wheels, and both of them go 1-2 is a whole nother thing. Is Gabby going to start attacking actually at this point? She doesn't want to sit around for a sprint. This is interesting, Dave.
And she's the best sprinter, but she's also the best all-around rider right now. Gabby Guerra is a level 100 Zwifter. Nobody's committed themselves to the sport more than Gabby here, and it looks like it's going to be Penner getting up onto that wheel. So here we go, the Canadian going to latch onto the Brazilian's wheel. As a matter of fact, I think Penner's going to go right by Nathan. Here we go, finale time. They are going to make it to the line. The gap has gone out to 17 seconds, so it's going to be this 4-rider sprint. That rider with borders, jersey in green, that's going to be the Irish woman Foley, and it is on like Donkey Kong, folks, as here here we go. 4-rider sprint into the finale. Can Riot go 1-2? Who knows?
Look at these heart rates, Dave. All of them through the roof now at this point. 192, 196. We saw Penner maxed out at. Foley up in the 176 now. Nyquist bringing it back down to 180, but she beats like a butterfly. She's got a few beats to work with here still. Look at Riot sitting, waiting for the moment. They're keeping it high at the front. Now Penner starts ramping up just a little bit here. 5 watts per kilogram. No jump just as yet. About 300 meters to the line.
Well, and this is where now we're going to really watch precision in motion.
Arrow power up. Here's the jump. Foley goes. Here we go now, Dave, as the arrow power up start to bump. And it's going to be Nyquist now on the punch. Here comes the punch. Now will Nyquist be able to go to the line? Nyquist versus Guerra, actually, it looks like, as they start the distance thing here. Going 1-2. It's the battle for Riot. Riot's going to take it all the way to the line. I love it to see it. Now Guerra through. Takes it just barely over teammate now. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's the situation as we've seen it.
Yeah, Foley, then Penner for 3rd and 4th. So Riot having their day. Incredible job. They forced the move. They drove the break. They controlled the finale, and then they win the sprint. So that was tactically perfect from the Riot team here today. They should be stoked. I bet you Gabby's punching the air.
Yeah, she's excited about that one, I think. Nicely done from the Riot team. Let's see if we can find the rest of the pack. They're going to be here really quickly, so I think we're going to have a hard time getting across to them. Maybe
they would have just finished, right?
Yeah, just finished, so they're just coming across. So apologies on that, everybody. Thought we'd be able to get back, but when we do leave the event, as you can see there, it ends up being so that we lose the entirety of the. That's not correct. That's definitely not.
I guarantee you that's not right.
Not correct. Yeah, that's interesting. That we just saw. But
the new positive Dave for 2024 would say that's correct, right?
That's interesting. I don't know where that even came from. Like
that looked like a bunch of the names, because I don't think Aeonian took the start today. I didn't see Estrate. I didn't see any of the Aeonian riders out here.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what happened, but definitely, and these are names that are highly recognizable if you've been following esports, like Hansen and Estrate and Disease. So something's up. Maybe they registered for this group, but they're racing in another one.
Yeah, maybe. Like maybe that's. I am actually confounded.
A little baffled.
Yeah, I'm actually really. I have no idea why, like, where those are even coming from. Like that's being communicated from Zwift, actually. Like that's local here on my. That is.
As they say in the horror movies, Nathan, the phone call is coming from inside the house.
Oh well, I guess there was interesting. So Central 2 was what we were actually watching. Apologies on that, everybody. So I actually didn't realize that. I guess they split
that would
them
explain
up.
some of
Cecilia,
my.
Yeah, that would explain your confusion. Yep, it would.
Yep, there we go. Well, Gabby, congratulations. Gabby Guerra taking the win. Well earned today. Worthy champions. Emily Nyquist for 2nd and gets the most aggressive rider award. And I think the Queen of the Mountain as well. Heather Foley, you are a legend. And the Riders Without Borders team, who I've always just been a big fan of. I'm glad to see that you're representing for them and flying that flag. Tiffany Penner in for 4th, and a name to remember. We're going to hear more about Tiffany, Nathan, for sure. Very active, strong racer, as Maria Thompson, another RWB rider coming through. That's a good day for them, Nathan, when you think about it. A 3rd and a 5th. That ought to be good for, well, I'll let everyone work on their points, but certainly they'll be high up on the table. And there's Beast Mode's Maria Marb, another legend, 6th. Hannah Donnell in 7th. Alex Rawlinson for 8th. Hannah Borschein in 9th. And Kay Baines rounds out your top 10 for the A women in EMEAE Central 2.
That was a really good race, actually, for RWB.
I
gotta say, you were right. Like, RWB showing up today. Nicely done by them. We are jumping right down in with the men here, as they have gotten out on course. This is, I'll get the exact start time here for the 12:30 Western 1 is what we are in with the A's. So there's your information on what we're watching right now. Open EMEA, Western 1, Ocean Cliffside. 81 registered, 80 joined from what we're seeing here. And big kick here as they get into the business end of this race.
Wow. Crazy to see a name here, Nathan. Sam de Jonker, the Belgian rider on the BZR team. I don't know if he's related to Noel, but Noel de Jonker and his brother Richard were the two Belgians that took Greg LeMond under their wings when Greg came over and lived in Kortrijk, Belgium back in the late 80s. And the de Jonker family has been hugely helpful to USA Cycling through the years. I actually
we're talking
stayed
about right here. This name
Sam,
right here.
yes,
De Jonker here. Okay.
De Jonker. Yep. Noel. I'm going to find out if there's a relation there. Noel's daughter works in cycling now. And if he's from Kortrijk, then I would almost be sure. But you know how, last names don't necessarily mean that they're closely related. But I have a strong feeling. That's cool. I love that about our. Oh, boy. You know what's not cool being in this race?
Unless you're on the front and you're BL13. Unless you're BL13 or Alpha driving the pace, then you're pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess it'd be cool if that was my perspective being on in that chase group. This is a huge field. So this is Minert now on the front. Alpha doing a lot of damage, although you see how many guys are getting tailed out of the group. Look how many guys are riding in the peloton right now as well, as this is Michel Meinert that we're talking about, another one of the Belgian riders. This is going to be brutal.
Stepanek from Osprey also now coming up and over the top, as you can see, as Czech Republic, I believe. Do I got that right? As
you do.
Osprey's now
dirt
making a
rider?
move, loving the dirt
Patrick?
kit on him.
Nathan, I think this is the one race that we do not have one. Oh, no, Mark is here. Mark Verlet's going to say not one American flag. There actually are a couple now that I dig a little deeper in this group, but I don't mind at all when we see how just international esports racing is. And this is one of the really strong European time zone fields that we have. The Ospreys. Well, on the beach, this would be Osprey territory.
Williamson, TSK, also here. S. Williamson with the pro badge, as you see there. So he's going to be somebody who's a big hitter in real life. Wonder what he's got here to show up on the day for us. As he just made it back into the pack. I think he was a little ways off the back. Well, I don't know about off the back. There is a way to climb this, and the way I climb this a lot of times, if I'm not going to attack over the top of that climb, is I will do just enough to make it up and over the top. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing here for some of these riders that are a little bit more savvy. But a little move here now coming from, is that going to be Team NL off the front? I'm looking at here now as it is going to be well. Now, it's with a little bit of a move.
Yeah, so Nathan, the other team I wanted to acknowledge here in the early going is that BL13's got a strong squad representing as well. I see Dave Griffiths, Daniel Mundell, Gareth Julste, the South African, Michael Gamst racing today as well, Phil Howe, so Philip Utley. So, yeah, this is really a strong team that we're looking at from BL13. But this is Talente Frey and Peller off the front. So, boy, it's good to hear these names again. Some of the strongest teams on the planet in this field out here today. And let's see what Mr. Peller, this is Nico Peller that we're looking at. And he's getting a gap.
Minart from Alpha covering it quickly here now at this point, though. Alpha now trying to make sure that this doesn't get too far away. The German Peller here continuing on off the front, but now backs off to 3.5 watts per kilogram. As there's these little punches, though. They continue to try and test the waters. BL13 now making a little bit of a move. Always love to see it. That's going to be Daniel Mundell now on the move, countering what we just saw from Peller. Good move here from him.
Yeah, BL13 is one of the teams like Alpha that has a great history of race tactics, and they put together one of the coolest finales. It's almost probably 3 years ago now that this team has been operating at such a high level, and you can see now, I think, Nathan, that we've completed the selection process of this race. We're going to start seeing some attacks out of this group, but get ready for some old school fury. the downhill, the new uphill. And Nathan, we've talked about super tucks. I don't know that it's possible to attack out of this group here, but it's gonna get frenetic at the bottom of this descent here as we make our way into the last chapter, the finale of this race. There it is.
Look at who's made the pack here, Dave. He does not want to chase. He does not want to make a single move, I don't think. Did Gamps make a move? No, it's going to be Peller off the front.
My bad. And it's you and Dow's, Nathan, that you're finding for us, isn't it?
Yeah, I just had to mention that he was here because he's going to cover every single move and try and make sure that this comes down to a sprint. That's what Dow's wants.
Yeah, we've seen him, Nathan, just be phenomenally successful, haven't we, over the last couple of months? The INC rider out of the United Kingdom has been, I would say, pound for pound, ounce for ounce, the most successful rider really that we've seen out here. This is Steven Williamson that we're looking at now, another one of the riders from Netherlands that, boy, I like the cut of his jib. I love the fact that he wants to roll these dice right now. That's the spark plug.
TSK, the Zwift kids. Love this team. They're such a great team. They love to show up. 9.4 watts per kilogram, getting up to 59 kilometers per hour. He's got 1 second. Not going to be going much of anywhere because Alpha's going to go to the front and try and push that pace a little bit here and get into that super tuck as well. I don't think that this is going to be enough speed to stay away. Dallas, though, keeps the speed super high. 71 kilometers per hour. Dave, what's the front of the pack looking like? 72. And I think that's going to be curtains for anything trying to go. The big question is who's sitting at the back and might actually look at how quickly that recharges actually from Steven Williamson just a moment there. And then it quickly goes down again as he kicks one more time. Kranenberg, though, Alpha, Netherlands, Dave, they're actually attacking on the downhills. The downhills, like you said, they are the new uphills.
No, absolutely. One of the things I love, Nathan, in almost any other sport on the planet, one, you only have two teams or two individuals competing against each other. Here it is completely opposite. You've got all kinds of squads with all kinds of talent. The other thing is, someone said, who's winning? Well, there is no winning until the race is over. But what's cool is, well, there are some teams that are doing a better job, and that might be some of the riders that you've got on screen right now. Who's been able to sit in this group, keep their energy level high, their burn rate low, and will come into this finale as we're going to drop into the aqua tube now. And this is really where the race proper begins. You've got to make it into this group to be a part of the conversation, but get ready, folks. Donnybrook coming up.
Yeah, and here we go. Talent Frey now to the front, as you can see here. Ewan Dow is now sitting in again and again, as we see over and over again. He is just going to cover and kill, because if it comes to the line, Ewan Dow's is a hard one to beat.
Let's start looking at that, Nathan. Who are the best sprinters that are in this group right now? Because we've talked about Dow's. I'd put Ranus Verhel up there, the Belgian on Avis Synergy. He can make monster watts.
What was that? Talent Frey going again. Peller. Interesting thing is that Peller's got the best sprint as well. That's the thing.
He's definitely cutting against the grain out here. I love it. Winning in a group like this, extremely complicated. You got to do something special. You got to crack the code. And Nico Peller, I don't know if he's going to win or not, Nathan, but he certainly makes it interesting.
Did we have Christian Grupp in here, Dave? If Grupp is in here, be on the watch out. I haven't seen him yet. Maybe a no-show on the day. He was signed up on the start list. I do see him for Talent Frey.
I'm seeing that.
Or perhaps he hasn't made the front group. I mean, I would be really surprised if Grupp didn't make the front group, right? But I have a feeling that perhaps just didn't make the start out here today. Got the sign up, but no go.
It's funny because I'm going to go with that, Nathan. But what they're doing would be great if he was back in that peloton because they're forcing the other teams to play cards and chase back, right? Nico Peller would, if he's got a teammate for Talent Frey, that's the T:"F that you see. It's a German-based team, almost entirely German. Then it would be working well. But now we're down to 4 up here. Michel Minart is there. Nico Peller
is here. I'm seeing maybe Grupp's under
that's a good
name.
play.
He's in the Zwift power list for the A's, from what I'm seeing here.
I just don't think he's in that front group, Nathan. I've been scanning him.
I'm looking here
you know
too.
better than I.
Well, no. I'm saying what Zwift Power says. That's all I'm saying. So is he under a different name, perhaps, is what's going on here? So trying to figure that one out still. We do see another punch here from Williamson. Now we're seeing Sanders making a move as well. That's a big move. I mean, full commitment here coming from Sanders. I mean, he just used his aero power up, Dave. He has zero interest, it looks like, in coming to the line with the group.
Well, this must be to set up. This is the alpha rider. He must be looking to set up a teammate himself or catch a moment where they don't believe he's got a chance, and that's all you need when you're a guy with this kind of talent. So let's see what Alpha Racing can pull off. Tim Sanders here, the Nederlander, with a nice gap, Nathan. So this is going to be exciting. A little more than a K of racing. Actually, I mean, to be honest, in his position, a lot more than a K of racing when you're trying to hold off these monsters here. But Alpha going to slam the first domino down on the table. Let's see what's coming next. This Stepanek of the Ospreys. He's got a teammate sitting in the slipstream, though, as that's Lamarsma. Let's see what happens now. It's going to be very interesting as we're down to 1K to go. 1K to go, Nathan.
Yeah, they don't make the juncture just quite, Dave. And they might slow down and look at each other because that kick out of the underground, Dave, a lot of times people go, okay, we made it through here. Now sit in. And Sanders continues on, Dave. He's fully committed here at this point. Completely committed.
I love the fact, though, so he's racing his race. You know, let the chips fall where they may behind him. But it looks like now Michael Gamps, the Danish rider,
I love it.
For this is BL13, and BL13 doing what they do. A tactical masterpiece being put together. Michael Gamps is on the attack. He's been in the bank. He's got all of the money. It's in a duffel bag. It's into the back of the car, and now they're going to be chasing him to the finish line. Michael Gamps absolutely is your danger man. Can he hold on and make it to the hideout in town?
He uses his arrow power-up actually around the corner here. Gamps now 5.8 watts per kilogram, trying to do something, but it's not enough, Dave. He needs orange numbers. Here comes Lammersley here coming from Lammersma from Alpha. Now, the Netherlands, 9.6 watts per kilogram. Dave, they don't have a whole lot left in the tank, though, it feels like at this point. And it is going to be Alpha trying to make the charge. Here comes Dow's, Alpha, Aba Synergy. No, who's it going to be? Verhel, Mundell's got 15 watts per kilogram still to give, but it's coming right to Mundell. Holds on. Daniel Mundell does it.
How about that? The old switcheroo. As they attack with Gamps, they get the chase and they win with DM Daniel Mundell, BL13, putting on a clinic today.
That was really well done. That was actually really
nice.
Really well done. Michael Gamps moves, and then Mundell with the perfect setup from Gamps. You gotta love
uses
to see
the
it.
rest of the
our replays are really amazing today. I really like them.
They're a solid black screen, like the Spinal Tap album, right? Oh,
the Spinal Tap, Dave, take us back. Oh my God! Look at this guy.
I can replay the sprint here for you.
What
Daniel Manal,
this
is the man who may or may not.
Now wait a second. What happened to Dan? He's usually not. This is interesting. Like, this is one of your top talents, Dave, and he's off the back. What happened with this crew? The B category, wow. Dave?
It must have been mayhem out there because he is one of the best Bs that we've seen. So if he's not in the front group, he must have had, not to make excuses, but something, a power dropout or something. So let's see what's going on here. Again, our Bs now as we move through the day, starting season 3 of this grouping. And it's been great being out here for 19K of racing, as what we're doing is the Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop for the first time ever in the ZRL. We've seen just fantastic racing. To be honest, there has not been a disappointing race in the batch so far. And we'll try to catch back up with more of the fields out here racing in this wave as we come up on the top of the hour here. Still plenty more racing here on day 1 of the fresh season. So we've been in with the men and women so far. We're just enjoying the EMEAE Western. It's quite a mouthful, to be honest.
Western 1, B is what we're in with now. Thank you, Dave. That was very well done. DBR Tornadoes coming on through to try and bring this back. The arrow power up is popped here from our man Manta. I wanted to say Montana. Does he got a mountain of power is the question here at this point, but he's coming from France. Not sure he's going to get those Rockies to the line. I think he's going to do it, actually. Jessen trying to come on from the Tornadoes. I don't think he's going to be able to pull this back. The Dragons start to pop from the main pack now. 13 watts per kilogram. 9 seconds is a little bit too much, though, I think, to bring back at this moment. That's a lot of speed, though, 63 kilometers per hour. But at 8 seconds, Dave, Manta, he did it. He made the time to the line. Here come DBR Tornadoes, though, trying trying to hold on. Not sure he's going to be able to do so. There's your winner. Tornadoes trying to hold on. No, the Dragons nip at the line. Yep, Dragons going to do it.
Ooh.
Second place, third held on for the Tornadoes.
All right. You know, one thing I'm looking at is a lot of white and pink jerseys in the top 10 there. So not sure which team that is,
Dirt,
but that's great
I think
for
it's
them.
Dirt,
That's Dirt
using the Mert kit. I think that's what's going on there.
Nice. Well, so they probably, Nathan, just looking at that first glance, are going to be happy with their ride. That ought to be a lot of points there. And that's how we score in the ZRL with WTRL. World Tactical Racing League has built up the greatest virtual sporting event series on the planet or in the universe, the known universe at this point. And I don't want to short sell it, Nathan. You know, it's not in America. It's not North America. It's not worldwide.
That's a pretty big landscape
universe
to work with, Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about
Until
known
you know
universe, do you know how big, how many possible virtual cycling worlds are there is a big question, I think. But Dave, here's the results.
I'll have to check with Isaac Asimov. But all right, Daniel Mundell for the win, Nicholas Becker for second, Tade Sedar for third, Reines Verhel for fourth, Christian Grupp. Oh, so Christian Grupp was there in fifth. So almost paid off for them.
He was so quiet.
Oxen.
He was like, where was Grupp is a big question for me.
You know what else, Nathan? Torben Oxen is another huge talent that I did not. That's part of the problem when we're doing so many races, is you don't have a chance to spend as much time as it'd be nice to with to identify like Torben, another great sprinter out there. And Nathan, the fact that Christian Grupp and Torben Oxen are fifth and sixth, that tells me the quality of the league must be bananas. Danny Vanderlee in seventh, Andreas der Weduwen in eighth, Jari Kranenberg in ninth, and then Ewan Dowse.
Wow, for Ewan Dowse to take 10th in a sprint, it must have been a hard day out there today. Hedegaard now from Denmark. He's got 1 second off the front in the C category for that same exact EMEA Western one. Hedegaard's going to use it. Arrow power up. He's trying to take lesson from one or two breakaways we saw. Make it, Dave. I like these attacks been going. I do feel like the Zwift Racing League has gotten a little bit more tactical as of last couple of seasons. And looking at this with these breakaways, going to get it again, it gives a testament to how hard this course is too, even though it is 19K.
I guess it. Yeah, I agree. And the spirit of the racing too, Nathan, has just been amazing. For me, that's been why these finales are so exciting, is that these folks really show up to race. They don't show up to make the numbers. They're not here to get some exercise. They are here to have some fun, as we're looking at right now. Another kick to the line as we finish our C's out here today. Winterberg, I believe, Nathan, for the win. I feel terrible that I missed that.
I'll get it right now for you. I'll get it right this second for you. Here you go. And for the C's, it is Simon Holberg Hedegaard.
It was Winterberg for second. I apologize, Simon.
Yeah, it was a breakaway. He stayed away. He did a good job.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, look at that. By nearly 4 seconds for Simon Holberg Hedegaard, our champion today in the C's. Karsten Kjær Winterberg for second. Ivo third. Lars Thomadsen, fourth place today. Michael Hoch in fifth. Morten Jensen sixth, Kohn seventh, Will Fuller in eighth, Federico Bianchi in ninth, and then Rasmus Larsen rounds out our top 10 here. That's Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop today for the C's as they start their season off. They'll all be heading over to WTRL.racing to see what the standings look like after the first race. Top team will take 20 points, 19 for the second place team. So that being said, a perfect season, which we have seen, but it's rare, obviously, would be 120 points. This is the D's at about, 2.4K to go.
Yeah, and Anders Aspier had been sitting in, it looks like. It's got a fully recharged battery getting ready for his sprint, but this is the second group out on course. There is a break that in these D categories, they tend to have this, it seems. And here we go. This is the main pack up front with the Vikings doing some work, it looks like.
Anders' photo looks like someone said, Anders, we need an ID photo. Can you just take one with your computer at work?
In with
He said,
Ornberg.
sure.
With Ornberg here now, as we've got quite a few in this main pack here, Dave. A reduced field, 15, maybe 20 riders coming in here to the finish for the D category.
All right. They might have a sprint proper, Nathan. Who's going to zig when they zag and attack out? Oh, there you go. Or I thought I saw an attack being it. It's hard to attack from the front, but the thing about Zwift is you lose that dynamic of really being able to hide on the edge of the pack about 5 riders back and wind up your attack. So when you go by the front, you're flying. By the time that those riders realize that you're coming by, you've already got a 10-meter gap.
This is the best explanation of how you attack on a race. I swear that was awesome.
Well, that's about
the
it,
visuals,
right?
The visuals were perfect there, Dave. Come flying,
and then the sweet look out of your eye when you go by them, right?
I felt the wind. You're all the way in Colorado, but I still felt.
Listen, if you're going to attack a bike race, do it right, people. That's one of there's an art form to racing a bike. The art of racing in esports, Nathan, that should be your book that you write. There's a lot to this, and I have learned so much about how Zwiftcraft works and just how the game is played. It's been so awesome. So again, though, I don't know if it's awesome now. These guys are making
watch out for this guy.
Lot of power.
This rhino, Dave. He's one to watch out for, I think, when it comes to the final sprint. He's got a good kick. What has he got left in the tank here? Alex Macblatt. But we've got kicks going ahead now at this point. He's got one of the best kicks amongst the crew, but is he sitting in the right position here? That's always the question. It looks like he's really well rested up, but I think, Dave, nobody's going just as yet. I mean, I'm here. There it is. I'm just anticipating that maybe this is your man, but maybe I've miscalled it here, Dave. I have a feeling that they really put the hurt on these guys early on. It's going to be Tom F here from Coalition. Pino trying to come on through from Two Gas, but I think the Coalition rider, he's got the jump on them to the line. Going to be able to make it happen here? I think so.
Tom, getting it. There's a solid win right there in our D category. Look, wow, real rush to the line.
Eaton Watt there ended up just nipping it for second, but what a move there from Tom.
Yeah, that's how you do it. And definitely the spirit of racing in the D class has always been to just let the chips fall where they may, as I think I've said 3 times today. So there you go. This is going to be wrapping things up for this wave. We'll take a look at our D top 10 for you. We have had a chance to review the C's out here. We'll keep working around the Zwiftverse, though. Plenty of racing in this batch still to come. We'll be jumping back in with the A's as we move over the top of the hour now. So it'll be the women that we join next. But before we do that, let's take a look at Tom F. on top of our table here with the win. Michael Stromba for second. Nick Affolter for third. Affolter, excuse me, Nick. I made it too fancy. So Nick Affolter there in third. Christian Tracy for fourth. Andre Pino in fifth. Sergio Agostino in sixth. Rogerio Cavalerio in seventh. H. Ornberg eighth. Alex McPlatt in ninth. And Arne Saltums rounds out your top 10 for the D's. Great racing, guys. Looks like Nathan is in the pen as the women get ready to spawn out onto course. And it looks like Ariel Verhardt, an American Olympian, is who we'll start with.
Here we go, Dave. This is
Leonian's back.
Yeah. I mean, watch out. Danielle.
Here's Estrate.
Wait. Estrate just raced, Dave. She was in the results.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I'll show you. Here, I'll show it. Here, just one second.
Believe you. 100%, Nathan. I know we saw her name earlier. We went back and forth on whether we thought that Ionian was racing. So Daniela Estrate, the Romanian, is in this race.
This just happened.
I thought that we determined. Oh, I know what happened.
Here, now
they
watch.
were racing in a different race, right? We figured that out.
So 1201 and 12. So it's the Central 2, the Central 1. So this was the race with which I'm a little surprised they separated them out, because it would have been some. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. But it would have been some interesting racing between them. But they decided to separate them out. I wonder why that happened? Because
Well, I'm
here's
going to guess.
where Riot and Beast Mode and all of them that were, and then Hansen and crew with the other Aeonian team were on the ones.
That is interesting. Okay, that was the race that we broadcast, the one that you see on your screen right now with Gabby Guerra taking the win, M. Nyquist. I believe we read this.
Yeah, we did. I'm just showing that these
I
people,
just didn't want
some
to
of
do
the
it again.
people in the pen have already raced.
Have already raced. Yeah,
Yes.
Crazy. Actually, let's see. Danielle Estrate is one.
Yeah, I'm not sure about anyone else. There may
she
be
might
others.
be it, because this group has Monali Keller, Miriam Bullock, Joe Blackburn, Ariel Verhaeren. So
maybe Proust. Maybe Proust. I'm not positive on that though.
Still interesting, however. So this is the pen where the riders have assembled. They don't have them on the trainers any longer.
Well, that might be that might be how
Something
we get
else.
into the. That might
Okay.
That might have to do with how we get into the event.
Right.
You know, as you can see, there's no clock running down up ahead because our avatar is actually just hanging out on the side of the road somewhere off in the distance. So, and not actually in this pen here. But as you can see, Dave, it's Team Castelli. If we look down at all these jerseys, we got about a minute to start. Coalition, Aeonian, WLC. We've got plenty of firepower here, it looks like. Who else is showing up on the day? Level Velo is here. BL13.
Socks for Watts.
Is Sock wait, what?
Oh, excuse me, they're Bs. That's a B team.
Gotcha.
For
well,
today.
we'll go watch them as well. We'll definitely go and check out what they're up
Elise
to.
Gallegos is here for Wahoo Cole. There's one of the big breakthrough stars. Kristen Kolchinsky is racing as well for Virginia Blue Ridge. I'm seeing her name.
I don't think they showed. I don't think they showed though.
Okay.
I'm not seeing a single Virginia Blue Ridge here. Yeah, and now I think perhaps maybe they'll show later tonight. Maybe they jumped in here to see if anybody would show up. You know, a lot of times what it comes down to is that, hey, are you going to race at this time? Well, maybe I'll be able to make it. Throw the race pass my way. Okay, I'll sign up. Oh, last minute, couldn't make it. Don't take your name off the list. But I'll race later tonight in the other race that I have a race pass for, because you can be on multiple teams.
It's like booking multiple flights home from a race and then just taking one that you might not, knowing that you can cancel them, and saying, hey, I'll put a placeholder that just in case I maybe want to do that. So
exactly. That's actually a great example. Great example of what's most likely going on there.
Well, so, hey, while we have this, I was going to say I'm looking at a Wahoo Cole jersey, Nathan, and I wanted to give a shout out to Zoe Langham. As Zoe and Alex are getting married. It looks like they announced that on social media. Zoe, one of the all-time greats of esport racing. I'm sure she'll be back, continuing to be great for sure. But that's a nice part of our community to shout out today.
Yeah, we did see that on social.
Did you see that?
WLC has shown up today. They're most likely celebrating that moment. So cool to see.
Cool moment in a young person's life.
I race like a girl with Mia Miller here now. 151 beats per minute, 248 watts or so. So it's a pretty chill start here, Dave, for the ladies, isn't it?
We saw the same thing with a couple races earlier where it was about 6K in where things activated. Actually, you just really never know. We also had another event where about 3K in the first attack came. So it's an interesting course that we're looking at. It's not that much climbing, but there is a severely steep section about halfway through that I wouldn't say it's been used as a launch pad, Nathan, but more as a dumping ground where riders just can't hold the pace. We have seen like M. Nyquist's attack was brutal, covered by Gabby Guerra that went on to initiate the race winning move on the climb. But so far, we haven't seen the racing in the first 7K have a huge impact on the finale. But it's only a matter of time. We've got both Monali Keller out of Seattle and Meredith Kessler out racing today. Different teams, but two very strong riders as well. Monali Keller on that Aeonian team, who this, of course, that suits her talents really well.
Yeah, it really does. I think she's a punchy rider. She can hold on over the top of this climb, and I think
make selections.
Yeah, and I think she does got a good kick to the line. I think it does. As of recently, I have noticed. I think she's got some good fitness coming around. So watch out for Keller. I think earlier on in the Zwift season, maybe not quite as, you know, focused
Prolific,
on this.
maybe?
But yeah.
Right.
I just get the feeling that she's starting to ramp things up into the spring here. So watch out for Keller.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair to say she races cyclocross there in the Pacific Northwest, which is really popular. And much like Zwift community, there's a strong community there. But then with 3 kids, a holiday coming, you can imagine that you can't keep all the balls in the air all the time, right, when you're juggling in life. And so, but when she focuses in on this, she becomes, within a few weeks, she can elevate her fitness and become more than just competitive, but an outright threat for the win, just like Carly Johan here, another really talented American in this sport. This is the time of day, Nathan, that we hit lunch hour for most of North America. So you start seeing that shift from almost entirely European flags to a little bit of a more North American, maybe a quarter North American flags now, Canadian in America.
Yeah, and this I Race Like a Girl team is going to have a lot of triathletes on it. Angela Nath leading that team up in real life. Kessler, you're seeing here as well. Carly Johan. I mean, a lot of these names, Dave, we got introduced to all of them in the WTRL TTT. So they've been around with WTRL for quite a long time. Really great to see. The Ice Race Like a Girl well represented here. And they've got some big hitters when it comes to just raw power. So, I mean, you know, they can go big watts for a long period of time, those triathletes. Watch out for maybe some moves. But the thing is, with such a punch right in the middle of all that, it makes it difficult for them. I could see if they've got a good VO2 over the top, an attempt to try and like threshold it away from the pack, and or maybe 3K to the line go.
If you want to get rid of triathletes out of a group like this, you have to really spike the power readings, right? And you don't want it flatlined. You got to go really hard and then easy and hard and then easy. And that's really the name of the game in elite racing. Is it's not a steady effort really at any point. I mean, unless you're time trialing, but in this sport or riding solo in a breakaway. But in general, the way you break a race apart is not consistently keeping the power high. It's the variation that you see that can really do damage out there. And right now, it's still pretty copacetic in this group. Kate Ligler in this field here as well, another noteworthy rider. There's Amanda Wendorf. You don't see this shot often, right?
No,
just in full-on life enjoyment mode.
Yeah.
Usually they're suffering.
I was looking for a triathlete picture, but I think this is after the triathlon.
She must have just won
here.
A triathlon. Yeah.
Yeah. As we see Amanda Wendorf. Good to see her hanging out with us out here today. The discrepancy here, Dave, I want to show, if I can, between a rider who's one of the best sprinters and a rider who's maybe one of the better, when it comes just down to pure watts per kilogram for a longer, Carly Johan, we were saying being, in this. Well, Dave, I try and make the comparison with a rider like Arya Verharn, and Arya Verharn
don't do that.
Just a monster.
Yeah.
So
that's unfair to any other human.
I mean, yeah, that's so. But this is the level though that we're talking about when we get it amongst this crew, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, and I mean, Ariel Verharn there, to be fair to everybody else, is a multi-time, Olympian, national champion. She's actually a director/coach of U.S. national BMX racing. So, yeah, absolute legend. But how about this? I Raced Like a Girl. I'm glad you were shouting them out, Nathan. That's a program that's had some staying power out there as well. Really, really positive group. And Maya Miller.
Yeah, 4.3 watts per kilogram for 20 minutes is one of the higher ones amongst this crew, and that's why she's doing. That's why she's doing this right there, Dave. Is she's someone who can get away. She's someone who can keep this steady. Now the orange numbers are going to start popping behind because of this climb onto the dirt here. But that's what I was looking for. Was like, look, there are riders that can shake this up a little bit and not make it a sprint to the line that may make a move like this.
repping Infinite, a cool drink, a customizable hydration plan. But I tell you what, she's going to need some. Here comes Wilson, the coalition rider, over the top. And, oh boy, Nathan, Elise Gallegos is such an impact racer. Elise Gallegos is going to do some serious damage. It looks like she went into the shed, found a 20-pound sledgehammer, and she's going to start wailing away. The response is going to be coming from all of these women. So here's your moment. Louise Gamst is up there. Her husband, Michael, just racing an hour ago. And now Louise is going to be part of this throwdown. Nathan, not everyone survives this gauntlet.
No, I have a feeling a couple may fall off here at this point. Now, it's early and it's short, Dave, but this is going to put a little sting in the legs. Even if you do hang on, it is going to be energy expenditure to do so, Dave.
Wow, look at Charlotte Wilson with all of the equipment going on there. So this is Charlotte of the United Kingdom
what's going on?
I have no idea.
Something going on the event there.
Looks like she's sailing.
That's near the ocean, it looks like. Maybe triathlon situation. Maybe, I don't know. Like, what exactly is the situation there? I would love to know. What she's
like
up
an
to.
avalanche beacon or something. I guess
somebody knows whatever is going on there in the chat. They're going to let us know. I have a feeling what kind of event that she is helping with there, because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we would like to know. So let's. I'm surprised, Nathan, to tell you the truth, looking at this group, that it's as together as it is out here as we look at our peloton now, bracing for the inevitable, which is going to be a real surge coming. I was thinking that Elise Gallegos was going to go big early. How is your Duolingo Italian going? Roberto Busone is the.
Not at all. There's too many languages I need to learn. Gabby's still on me about Portuguese. We're working on them all here, Dave.
I can only imagine how much your brain is being taking in. So, okay, but that's another one of the things we love about this community is the international aspect. I mean, I think, Nathan, you and I are tremendous fans of that. Here comes Kerr. That's the Scottish flag for the Wahoo Lacole rider here. She's going to move herself right up into the front here. Kate Leigler sitting with Busone, Patterson there. Elise, very attentive today. That's going to be Nevin as well, the Norwegian, here up near the front. I have a feeling these ladies, just being aware, Vicky Whitelaw racing today. There's a big name, an Olympic bronze medal winner from the Esports Games.
Yeah, that's a good name. That's actually something I want to look at here, Dave. Vicky Whitelaw, very good time trialist as well. Kind of, I think, how she made her name in real life a little bit. You know, this is a comparison to put up on board here. Both of them, look at this, 15 watts per, or 15
look
seconds,
at the heart rate.
up into 11, right?
So low.
1 minute is really, that 1 minute is really something to watch out for, though. Yeah, good point on the heart rates, too. Both of these riders have been saving up until the moments of punch. It is a 1 to 5 minute climb out there today, right? You're in that area. So Elise having a little bit more on Vicky here, but Vicky here with, I think, some solid power as well when it comes to just keeping things consistent. Look at that ZRA rating coming in at Ruby there from Elise Gallegos.
Nathan, when you look at numbers this close, it comes down to who had a better breakfast. You know what I mean? They are evenly matched. I'm just joking about the breakfast. But you know what it really comes down to? A lot of times is who wants it more, who's motivated, because those numbers are so close that, obviously you're looking at two champions. So, and that's something else.
What's happening with this? Look at Estrate.
Daniela Estrate.
She is so good at this, Dave. 109, 109, 109. Under 100 watts, Dave. She is the best drafter. She is the best Zwift crafter.
Watch.
She is better than me at this, Dave. I'm not kidding.
She's so good.
She is so good.
What she's doing is taking full draft, knowing that there's this crazy vector behind this group. Now, when this goes down, watch her surf through the entire
Look at the energy.
group, right? She'll be drafting on this
Dave.
entire climb. She's wow, this is so cool. If you want to choose a favorite Zwifter, I would nominate Daniela Estrate, the Romanian rider who's been with us since the get-go. She's also a mom. She's a real professional. Just one of those kind of people that I marvel at how good she is at everything she does. Even her style sense, right, Nathan? Look at that scarf.
She's all about
this lady's
scarf.
pro.
It's all about the scarf. I knew that was
There's
coming.
The turbine. So watch what she does here on this climb. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I'm wondering what Ariel Verhaaren's going to be up to, because I have a feeling that Verhaaren is getting ready for some good spring racing as well as Zwift games. And so I have a feeling, be on the watch out. I think she's super motivated. Also has, I mean, all of Aeonian have been hanging out at the back at this point. They're about to go full ballistic, I think.
It's going to go down. Look at her energy bar, Nathan. I mean, it's almost completely charged. My phone hasn't looked like that for the last 2 years. With
Mine's
that kind
literally
of charge
plugged
on it.
in, and it doesn't look like that.
Exactly. That's a great one. All right, so I hate to be the bearer of bad news for some other teams here, but Aeonian is loaded for bear right now.
Well, Elise Gallegos, though, Dave, has been on fire.
She's
recently.
ready.
Team Castelli are here as well, Dave. I mean, we're talking Aeonian up as well, but I think there's some other teams that are going to be like, all right, we're ready to battle here, because Aeonian have been dominant. But let's see here who really is able. There it goes.
Gallegos. And Nathan, I was just going to say, it's a team sport, right? So again, we will be taking the points from all 5 riders, but individually, and even, yes, everything you said is true, because watch out now. We've hyped up Aeonian. This is the Empire striking back. Elise Gallegos going up the front, another rider who has really made her name in the sport. But unlike those Ionian riders that we were talking about, she's relatively fresh to the sport. She's a world-class triathlete. She's splitting the group right now in front of our eyes. It looks like, I don't know, Nathan, one great move from Towle Lecole. If Aeonian wants to ride the back and surf the draft, this is one way you can put them in a little bit of trouble, create some gaps, don't make it easy for them here to ride through that peloton, and that's exactly what Gallegos is doing. So this is a body blow being thrown by Elise here. The American has the first strike.
Dude, she's doing 450 watts. She's not stopping, Dave. This is insane. 2 seconds. They can't even respond.
Nathan, her heart rate a minute ago was down at 127. Now it's up in the 180s where she will leave it. This is her. She's as comfortable being uncomfortable as any rider that we've got out here in this Zwiftverse right now. So let's see who's going to settle in. It looks like Nevin is there. Okay, Paul has made it. Vicky Whitelaw is there. Cookies? That must be Monali Keller that we're looking at in 5th spot.
Yeah, it's all Cookies.
So that is Keller. Leonie May for Wahoo Lecole is there. Verhaaren has made this selection. Again, they're all chasing Elise Gallegos. That's the rider in the purple and magenta, holding on to a 5-second advantage. I don't know if it's a race-winning move, but it's a huge impact move. As Nathan, she has split the peloton in half.
Goxie Paul now to the front, it looks like, here as well, trying to bring this back together now as she's starting to put in a little. Gallegos is fully committed, I think.
Front
Dave.
group.
Dave, she's going still. 5 watts. Look at the group backing off the 2.5 here. 8 seconds. This is going to continue to go out unless somebody does something. Now, what Aeonian could do, or BL13, Castelli, they could jump across right now, or work together to pull this back in. You know, and Aeonian are savvy. They know it's about points across the line. They might want to drag everybody with them if they've got numbers there.
All right, so how do we want to look at this, Nathan? If we're looking at it from the perspective of just winning this bike race, Elise Gallegos has a tremendous chance, and even benefiting her more is the fact that if I'm Aeonian, I don't know that I take this bait. Right? You might just as a team say, look, we still win this day, hands down.
Yeah, well, wait. Where's the rest of WLC? That's the question. That's the big question.
More than 3 in this group, you have to chase. And
Leonie May is here. Leonie May is here. Okay, so is that the only?
I'm just scanning.
No, I'm looking here. She may be the only one. Is there Vicky Whitelaw's here? Vicky White. No, Vicky Whitelaw is not for. Sorry, my bad. She's Aeonian.
Aeonian.
So, yeah. Dave,
Leonie May. Right. So see, they're not chasing. I think that they're tactically saying, let her go. That's not a problem. And this is how crazy and fun this is. There's so many dynamics. But Nathan, I think you're agreeing, or at least understanding my perspective here, is that Elise Gallegos is so good that, yes, they probably could chase and catch her, but that might not be the right tactic. And sometimes you have to understand that you let a rider go when it's not a danger woman. And yes, she's hugely talented. I mean, believe me, Elise Gallegos, though, is only one. She can only ride one bike at a time. That's the problem for Elise Gallegos. If she could be 2 or 3 human beings, then they'd have to chase her. But she can only take the top points. She can't be first, second, and third by herself. And that's for Aeonian a really, really good thing.
Wow, Dave, this is amazing to see.
Crazy.
This 20 seconds, Dave, how quickly that just went out. The rider on the front, Murray, who continues to kind of press the pace, it looks like, to try and maybe at least keep this within striking
None of
distance.
them are Aeonian.
I mean, 4.6, 4.3, Aeonian are doing nothing. I think Aeonian probably the stronger riders in and amongst this here, as you were saying, Dave. And I mean, they've got the power if they wanted to, but they're not bringing it back, Dave, I don't think.
Can I be honest, Nathan? This is the brave and the professional thing to do. What Aeonian is doing is they're here to win the bike race, and we score this as a team event. It's the points of all the riders on your team. And as I've been more than clear about, Elise Gallegos, who's incredible, is only one rider. Aeonian knows to win this race, they don't have to catch her. Yeah. So
it's a good call.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. So what's interesting now is what they're really thinking about is all the pink jerseys around them. Right?
That's a bigger problem.
There's a lot of BL13 here, isn't there, Dave? So yes, WLC, they're going to take the first rider across the line, the celebration with the champagne there, but really the party, Dave, is a team one, isn't it?
Yeah, there are 2 Wahoo Lacols in this group, actually. But still, I was saying that 3 was my threshold number. Right.
So
and so
Kerr has made it here. Good call, Dave. Good call.
Yeah, but that still doesn't change what I'm saying.
So how many Aeonian have made it is the question then? We've
the
got
entire
1,
team.
2, the whole team.
So
they
everybody.
got 5 riders.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders. 6, is that right?
Yeah, they're all there. Yeah, they can't lose.
Yeah.
If you run the numbers. Well, I mean, with the talent that they've got, they're going to take a 4th. If they take a 4th, a 6th, an 8th, they win.
Yeah. I'm doing all possible world, but you're right. You're right. Like Arya Varharn is probably going to win this sprint, most likely, is what we're looking at here. Or at least be second or third. And it's not like Aeonian's going to be at the back of the pack of this pack, is what you're saying. Because WLC has to beat them to the line to have any chances, and they got to really struggle in the sprint. And that's not really a reality here, is what you're getting at.
No. And I'm going to say, Nathan, mark my words, when we go back and look at the top 10, there will be 5 Aeonian riders in the top 10.
Wow, Elise Gallegos is so far ahead, I can't even see her. Like, I can't even get to her right now.
She's in a different Zwift world now. She's riding in France.
She's in a different instance of right now. I can't get to the road. She's on another road, so we can't even get to her. That's how far ahead she is at this point.
You know the saying, Nathan, that ship has sailed? I think that ship sailed when you talk about Elise Gallegos.
She almost a minute. She is gone.
And you know what? And it's become a tactical slugfest back here in the peloton where Aeonian's saying, hey, we're not chasing her back. So if you ladies want to, have at it. And the other ladies are like, no, thank you. We're good too. So Elise Gallegos now is, 1 kilometer ahead now?
Is it that much? 38 seconds isn't a kilometer, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. I'm sorry. It's
but now here's the thing, Dave. This could now as a solo rider, I do have to say this. As a solo rider at 38 seconds, depending now because of the lack of motivation back there, I wouldn't be like if I'm watching them. Here's the main thing: the lack of motivation is the only thing that would really make me go, okay, I'm pretty safe at 38 seconds. If I saw any motivation on a downhill like this from the pack, I'd still be like, I need to really, really work. I got to do everything I possibly can to stay away from this because of how steep this is.
Let me point you. So she's doing everything she can. She's smart enough to get into the super tuck. Nathan, she's been matching them or exceeding them every single moment since she attacked. Now, you're right. But, I mean, you don't do better than a super tuck if you're her, right now. She's actually getting a nice little break here to just let her body regroup a little bit. Elise
I'm so
Gallegos
meticulous,
is gone.
Dave. I'm so meticulous. Yeah, she's gone. I'm so meticulous about the downhill stuff. She could have seen 75 there. She could have seen, like, that's how my mind works in this space. Like, I'm all about marginal gains. I'm so about like because that's like in Zwift, it's about data. It's about every single little bit of speed you can find, however you can. And but anyway, I think she's got this. I think she definitely has this. I was just waiting to see if there was a moment, if there was that little is there something that could happen here? But they're not really 70 kilometers per hour. Look at the matchup. Same spot.
Yeah, but 70. The dynamic is they started racing for second place in this group 10 minutes ago.
Totally. Right. I agree. I was just watching for like whether or not there was a speed differentiation, and there wasn't. They're just that tells us the story. Then like this is done. It's over. She's gone. Gallegos is going to take the win.
So that's important to remember now. So there's two stories here that we probably won't be mentioning or seeing Elise Gallegos, who's in a different time zone at this point, as she's already into the Aqua Tunnel. So Elise Gallegos is 4K from the finish. And at the speed she's racing at, that's only about 6 minutes until she's done and dusted. This is where the main group has all of the points waiting second on down. We've talked about Aeonian, but Nathan, let's dig a little deeper with the Team Castellis and certainly the BL13s out here. I think BL13 is most likely the biggest challenge.
Yeah, that's a good question with BL13. Like, who's the big sprinters here that are left, and what kind of kicks do they? Dave, Kate Turden from BL13 has 12. I thought that Ariel Verhaeren was going to be the big kicker here, Dave, but the Australian's got a serious kick, Dave. Yikes. Like, watch out for her. I'm gonna see what we can bring up here to figure out whether or not, Verhaeren versus Kate here is going to be a big question.
So Elise Gallegos, the gold standard out here, but as far as a platinum standard for teams, well, I'm wondering, Nathan, Ariel Verhaeren, will she be one of 6 teammates that make the top 10? And have we ever seen a team at this level put the entire squad in the top 10? That's something to watch for. Kate Turden. Wow, Kate. Holy moly. Those numbers are world class. I'm going to do some research, Nathan, on Kate, but it's hard to believe that she wouldn't be one of the premier road sprinters coming out of Australia, making nearly 13 watts per kilo for 15 seconds. That's huge. So, and then Charlotte Wilson.
Charlotte hasn't been updated, I think, because Charlotte, I'm seeing over on Zwift Power having a 12.1. So ZRA has not been updated because we get this. Thank you so much again. I want to give a shout out to Tim Hansen over at the Zwift Racing app. If you haven't signed up for it, it's a great app to go and check out what your current level is with their ranking system, as well as getting all of that data comparisons that we have there. So big shout out to Tim and the ZRA. But Dave, I don't think that the ZRA was able to pull Charlotte's most recent 15-second kick, because from what I'm seeing, she's got a 12.1. So still need to be watching out for her. I think absolutely. She's newer. I think she might be newer. That may be why. I'm going to double check some things here, but I got to make sure I'm right. Yeah, level 27 amongst these ladies is a low level. That's a low level for amongst this crew. 15 races, Dave, that's nothing.
Teppo Lorio would get to level 27 from 0 in an afternoon.
Teppo's in chat. He's probably appreciating that one.
That's funny. I'm not looking at chat today. So, Teppo, hi. You're my hero.
Well,
Elise Gallegos, our champion. Nathan, you've been following along. Clearly, you're the leader of this whole thing. And, I mean, Elise Gallegos, for me, she and Sarah Roach have both come on so strong. And Elise, for me, is the diamond in the rough that really backed it up and became such a star so quickly. And I just love her story. She's a mom. She has a couple kids in that 4 or 5 year old range, and clearly she's just setting such a great example.
What bike is she
as a parent?
On, Dave? What is that bike? I don't actually. What is that bike?
That's not a Vang.
I don't think that's Avenge. No, that's not Avenge. I don't even recognize that bike. Huh. Let me know, chat. I'm not catching that one.
All
Nevin,
right.
now here we go. Now it's starting to pop off here. Here comes Coalition. Really?
Okay to go.
I like what they're doing. I like what Coalition are up here too, because they've got a big kicker in this pack here still, Dave. Goxie Paul now to the front. This is interesting, Dave.
This is cool. Yeah, wow. So we were talking about what to watch for now. We've really hyped up Aeonian, and that's based on years and years of data. But you know what? There's always going to be someone that comes out of the woodwork on you. Goxie Paul, the German, now moving up to the front. She's so strong. This is fun. Coalition, Beta, same team, one big objective out here. That's BL13. We had mentioned Louise Gamst as a rider to watch, and of course she puts her nose in the wind here late in the race. You can really feel them turning the screws right now here on the front of the peloton. Nathan, we're down to about 600 meters to go.
Louise Gamps, I just have to. I mean, look at this.
So cool.
That's extra. That's a little bit of extra here to the line.
That's extra.
Yeah, for sure. No. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody.
Good job, Nathan.
Luckily, I had
Thank you.
Varharan there. It's if
Okay.
you click correctly. Yeah, here we go.
Well,
to
it's
the line.
Aeonian going to do? Yeah, we talk so much about Aeonian. That's the purple, green, and blue. Can they stack the leaderboard here? It's what it's going to take, as we do know that our winner is Elise Gallegos. She already came across the line. Here's the sprint, Nathan. Let's bring them home.
Yeah, and it is going to be Javik here now, Castelli, but now Danielle Strate opening it up now. Verhaeren,
Second and
12 watts
third.
per kilogram. I wasn't sure if she was going to be able to take this down, but no problem.
Second,
Dave,
third, sixth.
Look, what, Dave, she had like 2 bike lengths. I
Yeah.
thought that she was going to get challenged to the line from some of those, but Dave, there's a 15-second kick. And then there's all of the energy underneath that still, though, right? Like you still have to be good to the line, right?
That's a great point. Your 15-second kick, the lead into that is an extremely intense 5 minutes, right? If you're just doing your 15-second kick fresh, it's going to be different than the numbers that you're going to see after a race like that. So Ariel Verhaeren taking second, but in a lot of ways that's a win because their Aeonian team played their cards right. Elise Gallegos takes advantage of 2 things: incredible fitness and heart and a good race situation. And to be honest, Nathan, that's how you win a bike race, is using your head and your legs. And this is Elise Gallegos on top of the table now. As I was talking about, now we don't have the teams listed, but Aeonian did not get 5 into the top 10. I think they got 4. Let's see here. We'll run down from the top. Elise Gallegos, congratulations, champ. Another W for Elise. As Ariel Verhaeren and Daniela Strate of Aeonian, second and third. Kate Turden, a big ride for the Australian, in fourth today. Watch out. We'll hear more about Kate. Bianca Leone May in fifth. Vicky Whitelaw, another Aeonian rider there, in sixth. It's going to be Martina Ercevic in seventh. Megan Anderson for eighth. Joe Blackburn in ninth. And Laura Meyer in 10th. So, okay, that was a good one, as far as really looking at how ZRL works and understanding that this is a team event. Individuals may have exceptional performances, but they still will be reliant upon their teammates getting up there and scoring enough points to move them up the table. So this is our Bs that we're looking at now.
Yeah, and it does look like there was a breakaway early on. We're not able to catch actually the main sprint to the line for the win. Apologies on that B category. You were too fast. The A's were hanging out for a sprint, it looks like. Crush Pod with Lucy going to come across the line. We're going to jump across to the men in just a minute here. We won't miss their race, but I definitely want to highlight the ladies. So nice job to Lucy from Crush Pod coming across the line. Let's go ahead and get our results in for the B category and just make sure that we highlight them. For these ladies. Some of the most popular riders we know of here. Strasser, Dave.
Nice. I did want to quickly say, Nathan, that I've gotten a lot of feedback from folks that have appreciated you covering the Bs and the Cs and the Ds more. So thank you very much for the extra efforts that have gone into doing that. It is Kay Strasser on top of the leaderboard for Crush Pod. Big fan. And it's Larissa Hejbor for Zwift Ladies in second. This is a cool group here with Sabi Horner of the LVLBs coming through in third. Helen Jackson in fourth. Helen Sharp for fifth. Joanne Ernst, the founder of Crush Pod there in sixth. Good job today, Joanne. Gina for Team NL, our Netherlanders friends in seventh. Gabriela Fajardo, the Galaxy Rider in eighth. And Joke Brenne, Heard Little Somethings in ninth, with Margot Jacquet of Zedson RCP in 10th. So that's the women we just saw here.
And we are jumping in with the C ladies real quickly just to catch the back end of their race. And there's going to be Kraft here from the Crush Pod out of Germany taking down the win in the C category for the highlight reel. Peterson there for SZ trying to lead it out, but Crush Pod, they're going to do it again 1-2 with Petra Mangali there from Team Italy going to come on through for third place. That is the end of the C category for the ladies in EMEA Central just now. Nice job to them. We will have the D category here in just a second. But let's go ahead and see how the results played out for the top 10 across this category just now, as it was, as we saw, Crush Pod again, also in the C's with Caroline Krob at the top.
Hey, Caroline.
Excuse me. I think that's Cross.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that is a double S, I believe, is the the letter that we don't have.
They call it a double S?
No, okay. But the sound is a double S.
It is an S. It is an S. Yeah, for sure. Right. That is from Duolingo for me, for sure.
There you go. That is from my one trip or two trips to Germany that I learned that. All right. So Caroline Kraus for the win. Petra W. Silver medal. Alma Mongeli for third. Emma Pedersen in fourth. Layla Overmole in fifth. Chelsea in sixth. Karen Vrak in seventh. Claire Spencer in eighth. And Johanna Eklund in ninth. With Sarah Pax, Nathan, rounding out our top 10.
Well, man, that was a lot really close between the A's, B's, and C's as far as the finishing time go. The D category, they got a little bit of a breakaway off the front for the ladies. Good to see as they're making their way over here. So how many do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders or so, maybe 7 that have made this front group. Jessica Hill leading them out as they look to exit Ocean Boulevard.
She's got good fashion sense with her avatar, that's for sure. And in real life, Jessica Hill, obviously a time trialist or someone who likes wearing aero helmets. Either way, Nathan, one thing that the United Kingdom does so much better than the United States is the love for time trialing. The number of events that they have and their
chin straps, Dave. Vibe. This name is so cool. Actually, I love the name.
Straps.
Look at the punches here, though, Dave. They've been really calm until this point, and you can see right now they're starting to really drain the tank in order to try and get to this line and push it a little bit. It's interesting how they're watching each other, and then they're taking these opportunities here and there. But Hill, I think she's setting herself up pretty well here, I think.
Yeah. All right. So the scenario is less than 1K to go. With a name like Chin Straps, you had me. That's for sure. So I'm pulling for Chin Straps, Nathan.
Well, we've got the Bilbies are here as well, though. Heard.
Who you're going with?
I don't know. I'm just highlighting that we always have the best names in these categories.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's Carmen from the Bilbies now making a move out of
South Africa. She's in Colorado. Oh, South Africa. Okay.
Well, it says South Africa is where she's from. Maybe she's in Colorado. I don't know. That sign looks like it's probably South Africa. Fine. And that tree as well. Those look like South African trees.
The reason I thought it was Colorado is because it looked like a windy, blown out prairie that we have around here a little bit. But yes, I'm going to go with South Africa now, too. I was being hopeful. All right. So Tampea is the Italian here getting, it's kind of splitting up as they're down to it now. Just a few hundred meters to go. It's going to be a long, drawn-out finale for the ladies here. Again, chin straps on the front, but it looks like the Bilbies Herd rider, Karma, coming over the top and perfectly positioned is Tampea, but the charge coming from behind. Will these three hold on for the top 3 spots even?
Oh, I think they might, Dave. I don't know if there's a kick from behind. Whether or not there's orange numbers back there is going to be the big question here. Is Tampea, she is really sat on. It looks like, I think she's perfectly timed this year, but here comes Carmen from the Bilbies. Bilbies now, and they're going to move. Wow, look at the kick.
Nice.
Game over.
Crushing it.
Yeah,
Yep,
188
that's it.
beats per minute. I think that's over. The South African's going to take this down. The Italian,
Good
though,
job, Carmen.
5.2 watts per kilogram for second place for Team Italy. It looks like they're across the line. Then Gottberg from behind. I think that was a
Wow.
timing issue for Gottberg. I think Gottberg almost had that one, actually,
Boy.
if she would have kicked just a little earlier.
Man, if she'd made that split and sprinted out of the front group, she looked unbeatable. But that's racing, right?
100%,
It's positioning, 100%. Timing, understanding where you need to be when. We learn a lot when we race in the D categories. That's for sure. Chin straps, nickname of the day. So.
Take it away for us, Dave. I'll go find our last race of the day. The men are probably already up and over the top of cliffside, so apologies, but they are right on top of each other. And we like to stay with the narrative as best as we possibly can.
It's been awesome, Nathan. Fantastic job. So, all right, we've got the men to jump back in with here as we kind of wrap up the main block of the day here. We do have later today more racing coming up. If you're in North America, it's going to be pretty late if you're our European friends, but I know some folks like watching racing in the evening. But around dinner time across North America, we'll be back with another round of racing. But let's take a look at how it played out today here for our D women. With Carmen on top of the table, we watched these three come to the line. Carmen timed her sprint perfectly, didn't take the bait. Aura Tompea. I'm a big fan, Aura. Way you race, she had a lot of heart, never gave up. Taking second with Erica Gottberg for third. Jessica Hill in fourth place today for our D women. Josephine Halbus in fifth. Sana Josefsson in sixth. And Natalie Taylor is in seventh here. And those are just the D women that finished in that wave. I know that they had a 70 rider field that took the start. So those riders will still be finishing, and we commend you all for having the courage to race your bike. This is not for the weak of heart, people. This is for champions only.
Well, things
are
real.
Guy, Nathan?
Things are real, Dave. What is his threshold set at? It can't be right. Is he full? He's not full. So this guy,
he uses tractor settings. Everyone else uses car settings, but he uses tractors.
He uses tractor setting. That's a good one. Johan Noren and Hayden Pucker off the front is a dangerous combination. These guys are the real deal.
Oh boy. Hey, Nathan, can you help me and help everyone here? We're going to reset for our final race. This is the men. They're deep into it. You can see 14.4K as we wanted to stay with our women's coverage, which I greatly appreciate. But this is going to be the half past the hour start. Oh, no, I got it now. I'm sorry, Nathan. I was just saying that this is the Open EMEAW Northern 1 men. We're in with the A's. And you got your farm watts. Thanks, Nathan. I just know it is an amazing day that we get to cover so much racing. And this is going to be one of our really competitive men's groups.
This 15, they're not, I don't think they're going to be seen again. Whoa, big jump though. Lenore Hexagon says no. Hexagon says this is still our race to win here. Mighty Beasts are there as well. Big kicks, but you know what it is with Pucker? He does not want to sprint. He wants this to come down to 1v1 situation off the front and just drive the pace. I love what he is up to here, but Dave, in ZRL, there is so much firepower. It's going to be really difficult to hold this one.
I think it's a little bit different than what Hayden has seen already, Nathan. So we have loved having Hayden Pucker become part of the community. He's racing out of Wisconsin. The nickname Farm Watts but the story's been pretty well documented if you've been watching on Zwift Community Live. But one thing, Hayden has been racing against the best Americans. And again, it's always going to be international in Zwift. But this is the first time that we've seen him jumping into the deep end of the pool in the ZRL. Hayden Pucker's the kind of guy that I anticipate would be at Zwift games and doing the highest level of racing, but he's still ascending right now, right, Nathan? He doesn't know how good he can be. We all know he's going to be great. He is great now, but this is interesting. Is it possible? Not that he's underestimating the firepower behind him, but that he's going to get a reality check for how strong these guys like Tafamarek are?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, the reality is that we've mainly seen him racing ERL, right? We've mainly seen him against the North American crew. This is now jumping into a worldwide European versus the USA kind of more so happening here. ESRT now with Sherwin. making a big move. Watch out for
No.
this rider. It's 6.8 watts per kilogram here. Diaz, though, jumping right on that wheel. This is looking to jump across because I don't think Sherwin's got a good kick from my understanding.
Well, so Nathan, at this point, not many would, right? After you've been through a really rugged 16.5K. This, though, I'm starting to think that reality sandwich that they serve up to you at this level is being prepared in the back of the kitchen right now. This is going to be, wow. All right, so the Chilean Fernando Diaz, always strong, impact racer, and he's got a lot of charge on his battery. So Diaz is going to bring this forward. Again, 2 riders off of the front, gap at 11 seconds here, down to 2K of racing.
Didn't we?
He's second race for him.
Rider. Check
second
this out.
race for,
Second
for
race.
Patrick Stepanek. Yep.
Yeah.
He was out here earlier.
Oh my!
The Czech rider.
Riding for the beasts now. 10 seconds, Dave. 10 seconds. Oh, now the punch is going to come, Dave. It's going to gallop so intensely in just a moment here. Pucker, though, just continues on. He is so committed. They're still out of sight, though.
Have you seen Noren? We've only been with them for about 4K, but I don't know that I've seen Noren taking a pull yet, and I have a feeling Pucker's going to get jumped, to tell you the truth.
Johan's got a good kick. Johan does have a good kick, Dave. If my memory serves me right, you got to watch out for this guy to the line.
My thought is he attacks Hayden Pucker about now, to tell you the truth, and leaves him behind, or are they going to work together? This is going to be a big test for Pucker, as Farm Watch is showing you exactly what he's about, and now the attacks are coming out of the peloton, so it is on like Donkey Kong.
Ooh, Niall.
This is killer, man.
Niall,
good job, Niall.
He's chasing his teammate, Dave.
He's racing. I don't know that he's chasing. I'm going to stand up for him here, Nathan. You're right, but I think that this is just a second race that's going on now. But I'm with you. Always tough to see that, but let's see what happens now. He's instigating some more speed out of this group, though. They're down to 1K to go. I don't know. I'm going to say at this point now, Nathan, that they've got a chance.
They got a chance. They got a chance. I agree. 44 kilometers per hour from the main pack, and these guys are continuing on at 47, 46 now, Dave. They've got to kick again in the main pack if they're going to bring this back here, and they do.
They need more.
But Johan Noren is still sitting in, and Noren still,
Noren's
think you're right.
To attack
he
him.
still has a kick. I believe Johan still has the ability to go.
Let's see. This is going to be brutal. And again, welcome to big-time racing on Zwift, no doubt. Hayden Pucker is a rider for the future. Johan Noren is a rider for today.
They're pretty matched here, Dave. Yeah, well, 11-11 here.
You know where I'm saying Noren might have the advantage is in he's been through this scenario maybe more times.
Yeah, he's more experienced. I agree. And here comes Pucker. Here we go. Here's the arrow power up. They got it. I think they've got it. They've got it. They've got a kick now, Dave, because here comes the pack now. This is the moment, but I think Noren's going to kick, and they've got the distance, and here comes the Noren. 10 watts per kilogram. Pucker trying to go. It's not going to happen. Nothing left. He's putting too much work. He might actually fade so much that they're going to catch him, Dave. He's got to at least fight for second to the line. Johan Noren, though, for the win. He
stays away. So that was a tactical masterpiece from Johan Noren. This is for third. That's bronze medal right there on the line. But okay, so we'll be counting all of the points up for all of the teams. But Hayden Pucker, holy cow, Hayden, great job today. Is another solid ride. Not much you can do, and a second is better than a 14th by a long shot. So Hayden Pucker, Nathan, even though he didn't win, he won. I'm just going to say it. He didn't win that sprint, but he got second, which for his team restart was a win. Johan Noren on top of the table with a command performance. That's
I'm not sure Niall was chasing. I think you're right. Like he was trying to, because Niall doesn't have a good sprint. He does not have a good sprint. I think he was trying to set himself up because he can't really kick against these boys.
So Nathan, I will definitively say that I don't think he was chasing his teammate. I'll say it that way. Yep. Okay. But yeah, we're having a great day. Mail Mazieu, I'm not pronouncing things very well though, am I? But that's third. Mail Mazieu. Mark Worthington in fourth. Jonas Warren in fifth. Matthew DePau in sixth. Brian O'Brien in seventh. Pierre Fell in eighth. R. Rasot in ninth. And then Patrick Stepanek in his second race. Nathan, good catch there. Not many folks can do 2 races, let alone be competitive in 2 races. That is our top 10 for the A's. We've got the B's on screen now as we take a look at them coming into in just a moment here. They'll see the red kite with 1K to go, but we've gotten to know this finish pretty well today.
Rex from TFC making a big move on the front. Nice to see. Well done. 8 watts per kilogram. He's really trying to split this. The Rhinos there with Will from Miller, Barry there as well, trying to keep things together at this point. Will it be able to happen? Miller now looking across. It looks like he's going to try and drag this pack all back together. That's probably going to neutralize things, but Rex don't care.
No. I think you have to have that attitude when you're racing. The Friday Criterium is the team. And, wow, this is the biggest group that we've brought into the last K, Nathan. This is a legit Peloton. First time we've seen it today.
What's the event?
He's on it.
Gravel event.
Boy, so, they've been using like that chaise lounge. Somebody must have found a broken down toilet on a gravel ride, and I don't recognize that number plate, but I think...
That's what I was wondering, was the number plate.
Yeah, and it looks too warm for Mid-South, right? Mid-South is in the spring, so I don't know. We're going to have him tell us. But attention back onto James here, Wahoo Cole. It's going to be a full-on group gallop, Nathan.
Garrett James now kicking, leading things out, but here we go. Group now coming up over the top. It's going to be to the front. Tufo, TFC now leading it out. Actually, Berto here now. Here comes Rockcliffe. Lots of Friday Criterium. The yellow and black now. Bumblebee into the front, it looks like. Can they sting? I think it's going to be, though. Atney now over the top, coming out of the UK. Rockcliffe now, TFC. No, is it going to be the Rhinos? Rhinos stampeding. There it is. Martino, he's going to take it down. It's going to be... No, Will Miller. Sorry, excuse me.
Whoa.
Will Miller takes it down for the Rhinos. Martini was second as the Rhinos, I said, stampeded to the line. Too many avatars swapping. Oh, my gosh.
I thought TFC, the Friday Criterium, was going to go full Aeonian mode there, but all the other teams kind of swarmed them in the finish. So it is Will Miller on top of the table with Tis Dippenmat in second, Diego Martinillo in third, Eben Swart fourth, DHW 737 in fifth, Ronnie Strubig for sixth, Kevin Horsley in seventh, Fabio Santos in eighth, Berto ninth, and Johnny B rounds out our top 10. That is our men's Bs that we just saw there out on the OLCL, the Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop.
Yeah, we'll get
like
in
OCLV,
with
remember that? You have to be an old Trek fan.
I do know exactly what you're talking about. Right. Yep, the carbon layup, the OCLV.
Optimum compaction, layup. Low void. Yeah.
You know the acronym. That's amazing. Wow. Shaw here from Galaxy 5.9 in the Violet kit, I want to say. Sir Gorb from PTZ now coming on through out of Portugal. It's going to be closed from race 3R. We're looking at the C category, the final K of today's first race in the ZRL of our coverage for Europe. And Close tries to make a move, 3.6 on the front.
Yeah. All right. Well, is it enough? It's going to be fun to watch. There's a rider in the field named Pope there. So if you're going to go for the Pope, you best not miss.
Look at this. I mean, this guy.
Whoa. Almost like a tuk-tuk kind of.
Close. Is he riding that bike right now? I think he's got too much drag. Too much drag, buddy. You can't. Yep, it's not going to take it to the line. Nice try, race 3R. Is that
a smart tuk-tuk? No, I think it's just a conventional one. So here we go. All right. I always love RTR. What do we got here, Nathan? About 600 meters to the finish. It's going to be a slugfest with these guys.
Yeah, and PTZ trying to make a move. I'm liking it, but not.
There
Whoa, Sisu.
That's the winning move.
I like it. Loxton over the top. And there's a little downhill here. He goes over the bump, takes the speed to the downhill.
Third.
There's responding. They're responding. PTZ. I like what you're seeing here, Dave.
Yeah, Sisu, another one of our legacy teams, and this is going to be a nice win. So got to keep the pressure on. I think Sisu might be going 1-2. PTZ second
that's
wheel.
PTZ, and he's coming fast. There's 11 watts per kilogram behind still here, Dave. If there's any power-ups back there, this may not hold on. I don't think it's going to do it, Dave. I think he's going to get caught. He is. It's going to be a knockout at the line. Oh, no, it's Coalition. Lessman. The timing.
Changed 3 times. Whew. That changed 3 times in the last 100 meters. What a finish, guys.
Yeah, well done. Well done on the match there.
That was our C's then coming across the line. Boy, they left it all out there on course today. I thought the Sisu rider had it for sure when
I
he
did
got that
too. That
established that
kick,
gap.
seriously, it was so close, but Coalition with the timing, very well done.
Yeah, so these teams. So Sisu, though, even though they didn't get the win, it looks like they might have had 2 in the top 6, or maybe 3 in the top 6. If that's the case, that's not too bad. Sebastian Lisman for the win. Daniel Willis second. Gregory Gout in third. It's going to be Gustavo Segorbe in fourth. Martin Scapa fifth. Ben Loxton in sixth. Nicolo excuse me. Nicolo Martinoli in seventh. Felipe Santos in eighth. Lyndon Klaus in ninth. And Barry Pope in 10th.
How far back did okay, so Lyndon ended up in ninth. Who's our man who went from the Rhino or from Sisu? That
I think it was Martin Scapa.
Okay, gotcha.
I believe.
And got rolled perhaps at the line.
Yeah, got rolled, but everybody got rolled except for Sebastian.
Loxton, I think, though, too. We were talking about Loxton. But anyways, yeah. I mean, Sebastian, the timing from Sebastian was really good. Really, really well played. We do have a rider off the front in the final little run up here for the last couple of K in our
Atomic
D
Racing?
category. Yeah, Galaxy actually on the move. We were in with ART there to get us across to the category, but Jonathan Walker's taking a big risk.
He's got a huge gap.
8 seconds, Dave will hold.
Well, to the brave go the rewards, it looks like in this one, Nathan, because that gap is massive. He's got about 1.2K to the finish, 9 seconds. His charge bar is huge. Jonathan Walker, my money's on you.
Emptying, that's for sure, though, here, Dave, as he pushes to the line, continues to press. Tyson from ART, Dave, on the chase.
Gap down
Adam
to 7.
Racing
Yeah, this
team, here we go.
Well, we got ourselves a good one, folks. D-Men bringing it home, 1K to go, and I have a bad feeling, actually, for Jonathan Walker, as these guys are charging now. Jacob Tyson looks like he's all business, Nathan.
Yeah, Jacob Tyson up over the top here. 5 seconds is the difference, but they can't give up at this point. Now we're in with Gower. Gower, what's going to be happening? Is he going to be coming over the top? The Rhino's now on the chase. Galaxy, though, sitting in with Roberts. This is perfect for Galaxy, actually. Simon Gower, he's all dressed up and ready to party for the line.
Simon Gower. He looks very Bond-like, doesn't he?
Oh my gosh, that was good. So now here's the thing for Galaxy. Roberts is sitting in. I mean, Roberts just gets to sit in and he gets the win. I think that's what happens if it was
only so easy, Nathan Guerra. If it was only that easy.
Well, Jonathan Walker continues on, and nobody's making the chase because they see what's going on with Roberts, with Simon Roberts sitting in.
We've seen this tactic. It's bike racing 101 with the rider up the road. Your teammate back in the chase has got a really nice situation there. The catbird seat, as we say, getting to sit in the draft, and it pays off more times than not. But it does. You have to have a strong team to execute these tactics, but it's not complicated.
Well, here we go, Johnny Walker.
He's
I like
good.
the name. I think, well, look at Gower, 5.8. And Dave, I don't know. Look at the speed. That's a lot of speed. 51 kilometers per hour, 40. Dave, they've got 10 kilometers per hour more. He's got to ramp it up here.
Johnny Walker red label, though, not the black label.
No, they're going to get him. They're going to get him right at the line. Johnny, he's going to get completely rolled. He's going to punch.
He's going to win.
No.
He's going to hold on.
No, Roberts just won.
Oh no! I thought he really.
But it was his teammate. It was his. He tried at the end. Like he gave one last kick, but then it just didn't. Like, I don't know if he didn't see them coming. I think he thought maybe it was over. Like, I mean, look, watch what happens. He doesn't time it right. His teammate comes over the top. He looks to jump on him, but no, it's gonna be Roberts followed up by Sparky from Evo. Love the names.
Wow. Okay, well, these guys are going to have a fun season. This is the first of 6 races, and if that's the first step, it's going to be a blast. So, good job to all of our racers here. Simon Roberts gets the win with Sparky just 1 second back. Jonathan Walker holds on for third. Simon Gower for fourth. Mark Boyce in fifth today. In our Ds, it's Mark W. for sixth. Jacob Tyson in seventh, and Crispy rounds out our top 8. You can always go to WTRL.racing to find out any information you need, or up-to-date results will all be there. And we, Nathan, had a really good start to the season here. That was an absolute blast.
Cliffside's good. Cliffside's
Can
good.
we keep this energy all season?
Oh, of course. That's what's going on.
All right.
Tonight, I'm gonna go have a conversation, ride my bike, and eat some food, and we'll be ready for tonight. And then I'm gonna race my bike on Cliffside. Oh my gosh, this is Tuesday, ZRL. It's kicked off, everybody. We've been live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. If you like ZCL content, make sure to hit follow, like, subscribe wherever you are at, and you will turn on those notification bells. Then you'll know whenever we go live. We have scheduled out the entirety of the Zwift Racing League for all 6 races on our YouTube channel already. So you can go on over there, hit those notification bells on each and every one of those to know when we go live for whatever content that you do want to follow. I do see your questions about what are you covering. If you head on to ZwiftPower.com, you will see on Tuesdays exactly what we are covering for the category. So head on over there on Tuesdays. Sometimes we get that updated by Monday, and we're going to be trying to be live for our ZRLs around 11:30 each and every Tuesday. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you in a few hours for the Americas. As always, everybody, ride on.